What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. And reserved for the best is super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comic. Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the 6th Element of Hip Hop. I am your host, Reno Noir, and this is your co-host, Stu Dog. What's good, Stu?
What's good?
Yeah. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. This is the Memorial Day special.
Yeah.
The only thing special about it is that we are here on Memorial Day. But that's special. That's special.
That's special indeed, because we could be barbecuing right now.
We could be, but we decided to be here with you
right now. Exactly, making your life
a little more entertaining.
Memorial Day special. Yeah, give you a Memorial Day special on Memorial Day because they don't do them anymore.
They don't.
So we just trying to keep tradition alive. That's all.
That's what it is. So we just had an epic weekend of viewing. We got to see Stranger Things, phenomenal season 4, part 1, and we got to see Disney's version of Obi-Wan, episodes 1 and 2. Yeah, the episode
that Obi-Wan still that's still hurting you a little bit, ain't it, man?
Left much to be desired.
It's still hurting you a little bit, man. I get it.
I was watching my man. Shout out to my man. Oh damn! Now I gotta say his name because, and I forgot how you say his name. But he's my sort of my go-to Star Wars guy. He's a guru in the field of Star Wars. He knows everything. His channel is called Star Wars Theory. So go check out and subscribe to Star Wars Theory. He's only got 3.2 million subs, so he needs your help. He needs support. He's a small growing channel. No, but no, he definitely spun lemonade. He made lemonade out of lemons. He broke it down,
But we know he made a good cup of lemonade, though.
He made a sweet cup of lemonade.
I mean, and I agree with a lot of stuff he says because the same thing I said when we talked about it. You got to establish that relationship between him and Leia. You got to. They knew. I don't know, because when you go back to the original episode, you know what I mean. He knew Anakin was Darth Vader, and a lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people didn't know Anakin was Darth Vader. And he talked about that.
Yeah, Reva knew it, and she wasn't supposed to know it.
She wasn't supposed to, right? And everybody's trying to figure out how.
Vader, if he finds out he's Anakin, he slaughters you on the spot.
Yes, he does.
And any time that he's ever had his helmet off, after a battle or whatever like that in the comics or whatever, and a stormtrooper might have happened upon and seen his face, snaps their neck with the Force without even a word. He does not want no one to, so the only other people that we've ever known that knew was, of course, Obi-Wan, but General Tarkin and Thrawn. Tarkin and Thrawn knew. And so for when Reva knew, when she said that he was Anakin, a lot of people were just like, what? That's, she's not supposed to know that. How does she know that? But he basically broke it down like this, and it was very simple. We know that she was a youngling in the temple during Order 66. She was a young Jedi, so she very possibly saw Anakin slaughtering the babies and killing Jedi and stuff like that, and possibly heard a clone refer to him as Lord Vader. So I mean, it's just that simple and easy.
Wait a minute, hold up. Was he Lord Vader before?
Yeah, remember when Palpatine he said you
are. That's right. He didn't have a Darth. He wasn't a Darth yet.
Lord Vader. Yeah, Darth Vader. Yeah, Darth Vader.
Right.
Yeah. So they would
Yeah,
call
right.
him
Yeah.
Lord Vader, Darth Vader. But yeah, so he was Vader when he still had the before he had the contraption on. He was still Anakin, recognizably Anakin. Before he had the fight with Obi-Wan where he got his limbs chopped off and burnt up and all of that. He was Lord Vader then. So, and
Yeah.
they knew the clones knew that, and Palpatine had named him that. So for her to have heard that is very plausible. And the way that Obi-Wan found out that Anakin was Vader in the novels was he was in a bar and overheard someone saying it and showed a hologram picture of him, and it was very lackluster and sort of just that simple, and not even as cool as Star Wars Theory's theory of her seeing it, witnessing, the atrocity of him killing younglings or whatever during Order 66. So it's a good theory. We don't know yet if that's what it's going to be, but hopefully they address it. I am not like, I don't expect them to address it. Like, I don't put it past Disney and them to just not address it, just act like, because they didn't know. They didn't know no better. They didn't know that she wasn't supposed to know that, because these people don't know about Star Wars. Lucasfilm made good on their promise to hire writers that are not Star Wars fans
Oh,
to
yeah,
get a
well,
fresh take.
well, if they did
Horrible,
that, and now
horrible.
we know why she knows. Because I know that the character of the third sister, Reva, that's a character that was made for the series.
Right.
Um, a lot of people keep saying she's annoying. They wrote her as being annoying.
Yeah.
That's her job, to annoy you.
Yeah.
And she's annoyed. She's annoyed the other Inquisitors. They're not too fond of her either.
Right. And that was sort of his. He was like, "Yeah, she's supposed to," and because he doesn't want to bat. He's got 3 million subs. He can't talk shit like we can. He's a big. He's got to be. He's got to keep it PC. When you get that big, you have to keep it PC and all of that. We have the luxury of talking shit because we're not a huge channel yet. Um, but when you get big like that in media, you gotta kind of be PC. You gotta can't bash people, and you gotta, So his way of not bashing her was saying, she was written to be annoying. She was supposed to be annoying. He said, but every time she comes on the screen, I roll my eyes like, oh, here we go. But he said that's what she was supposed to do. So if that's what
Right.
she was going for, she nailed it.
She achieved that goal.
She nailed that. Yeah.
Yes, she did.
Um. Yeah.
I mean, look, in my opinion, I don't know if that's what she was meant to be, but she does. You can tell that she does annoy the other Inquisitors.
Yeah.
Um, and to stab the Grand Inquisitor in the back.
In
That's
the stomach.
yeah, that's
Stabbed him in the stomach. And that was another thing that we figured out, because that species of alien has 2 stomachs. And so she stabbed him in one stomach. Doesn't mean he's dead. He probably went into the back of the tank. So he's not dead. The Grand Inquisitor is not dead. He's
right.
he's hurt, and he's probably healing up, but he's not dead, and we know that from Rebels. If he's in Rebels, he can't be dead now when Leia's still a little kid, because she was in Rebels as an older kid, and
Yeah,
the
she was.
Inquisitor was there. So we know the Inquisitor's not dead, unless Disney just botched it again, not knowing any better. But I just can't see Deborah Chow and Dave Filoni allowing that to happen. Dave Filoni, especially, who, I think he even wrote Rebels. Like he did. I know he did Clone Wars, but I think he did Rebels too, or part of it. But yeah, so he knows. So we can hope that they have something coming. With the Grand Inquisitor is going to come back.
Look,
And
we just gotta see. But
yeah,
as far as the episodes go right now, it's all over the place, man.
it's a lot.
It's a lot. But we got to deal with it until episode 3.
Right.
Episode 3
Um,
comes out. It should answer some more questions. We'll
right.
see what Obi-Wan and the princess does. We'll even see, because you got to remember, Obi-Wan is kind of a touchy subject, because when they wrote Star Wars, there was no backstory other than what we saw on the screen. So to fill in these blanks is, you got to be careful, like you said, because you don't want to mess up the timeline.
Right.
So knowing, moving forward, knowing that, that the Inquisitors were out there, maybe Obi-Wan knocked a lot of them off. Because by the time we got to episode 5, there were no more Inquisitors.
Yeah,
This is
I think
Vader.
he's gonna kill Reva, or maybe Vader's gonna kill Reva, or maybe the Grand Inquisitor is gonna kill Reva. But she's gonna die because she's not in Rebels.
No, she's not a
So
Rebels at all.
yeah,
No,
so I think
she's
she's
not a
gonna
Rebels at
die.
all. Or
Uh,
maybe they might just do like a Daryl situation from Walking Dead, and she just is made for the show, and they'll keep her alive. We don't even know if we're gonna get a season 2 to Obi-Wan. We don't know.
no, we won't. But we do have 4 more episodes coming. But we won't get a season 2. It's a mini series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, we know we're getting a new season of Bad Batch, so
Yeah,
maybe they'll answer those questions in Bad Batch, or because they'll do that. Star Wars will do that. They'll answer it in another series. And just link those
because
pieces together.
Mandalorian's coming back.
Mandalorian's already in production right now. They're
Yeah.
already they're filming. They're doing the damn thing. So
Yeah,
it's just a
Ahsoka is
matter of
coming. The Acolyte,
Andor.
Some
What
shows.
was the other? The Star Wars, the short, Jedi shorts or something like that. The Jedi short film thing that I sent you the trailers for.
Was that? Oh, I thought that was like a fan thing.
No, that's real. That's real. That's a real thing.
Yeah. So there's a lot of Star Wars shows coming. So it could be. But enough of Star Wars. We have something new and fun to talk about. If you were a kid in the '80s and you're into fantasy, we have a Willow sequel. How's that look?
Do we have a trailer?
We do. We have a teaser. Let's run that piece.
Roll the thing.
There is a story of a child destined to be an empress, and the unlikely hero who would protect her.
There is a balance between all things. Light and shadow. Good and evil. When that balance is upset, the universe corrects.
The world needs you again. It needs your magic.
Into the unknown. That's where we must go.
Not again.
Mad Mortigan.
I guess that's the guy with the beard. What up, Slade?
That was
Yeah,
Val
me too.
Kilmer. Val Kilmer was Mad Mortigan.
Right. But I mean, in the show here that we just saw.
Oh, you think that's him? I
That
don't
guy
know,
with
man.
the
Mad
beard.
Mortigan we might be dead. We don't know how
Well, they
far.
gave him a beard. They gave him a beard, and they showed him from behind. That was definitely Mortigan, Matt Mortigan. I mean, Willow's still alive. He's not super decrepitly old.
We don't know how
Obviously,
far.
Val Kilmer's unable to reprise his role.
I know,
And
man.
that's fucking tragic.
I couldn't be the director. I'd be like, look, we got to physically find some way for him to reprise this role, man. I don't know.
They
Maybe
could
you
have
say it's something. Right. Maybe somebody put a curse on him. Now he can't talk.
Oh, you mean like just have him play it as how he is, no CGI, just like a spell fucked him up.
Right, like a witch took his voice or something like that.
Well, no, that's not a bad idea. They could have maybe put a mask like this on him where you just see his eyes and then he can't talk, snake eyes type shit. He could have done
Right.
that, but
He
I don't
just
know.
disfigured. Yeah. They could have just been like, look, he's or they could have said a witch stole his voice. He's been
Right.
trying to get it back. And so now he just, we've been searching for, and he just communicates through sign language. I don't know. It's a few places you can go with it, man.
Yeah, but apparently they didn't do that. They've just got this other actor playing him with the beard. So it's still I mean, look, it's Willow. It was never like a big serious franchise that oh
Whoa,
no,
whoa, whoa,
they're gonna
whoa,
ruin
whoa.
it. Like there was no big trilogy. There was no I mean, it did have a little steam. I mean, it had a couple of toy lines, little toys and stuff like that. But it was a
But the
big movie.
movie was wildly popular,
Oh, the movie was
I
huge.
mean, you gotta take your hat off to that, man. I mean,
Absolutely. I love
I
fucking
know
Willow.
Mordecai
Mad
was
Mordecai
my
was my
main man.
dude.
Man,
Hell yeah.
Mordecai was the dude. He wasn't man.
He was my
But you
boy.
gotta realize, I mean, Willow was a box office hit. I
Oh
have
yeah.
no idea why. And I'm not saying like it was a bad movie or anything, but I'm just saying like when it came out, people loved Willow. I think it's the fantasy adventure. It was just it was well directed. It was well played. It was just people
Mhm.
loved it.
Well, and that was the
And
era of the blockbuster. That was the new era of the new blockbuster, the summer movie big things that was the because it started with Batman. Started with Batman '89. That was
yeah,
the
it
big,
did. Yeah,
big blockbuster, and then from then on, it was just like trying to recapture that boom, boom, boom after one after another. Willow, I think Willow came out after Batman. When did Willow bust? Willow came out in 1988. So
I think
actually,
it was.
Willow
Yeah, I think it was like '88. Well, I know it wasn't '89. I know it was. I know, and
no,
I don't. It couldn't have been '89. Was it
no,
'89?
it was before Batman. It was 88. It was definitely 88. Yeah, because I was in 4th grade at the time. And that was 88. But so it was
19. Yeah, it came out 1988.
yeah, and it was big. Like it was I
It
didn't know
was
it.
super big, bro.
Yeah, I didn't know
It
at the
was super
time,
big.
like because I was a little kid. So I didn't know at the time that the same guy that made, Star Wars and Indiana Jones made Willow. I didn't
Oh,
know
I knew
yet.
that. Oh, I knew
Well,
that. Yeah.
you were older than me, but
Mhm.
as a little kid, you don't know that
Whoa,
shit.
whoa. Oh, how old were you? How old were you then, bro?
Bro, you're like 10 years older than me.
I know. How old were you then? So you were
Oh, I was in 4th
88.
grade. Yeah. I was probably
I was in like
eight
ninth
or
grade.
9. Yeah, I was
I
like
was in
8 or
like
9.
ninth grade, and I was in like ninth grade,
Mhm.
something like that,
See?
in '88.
Mhm. Yeah, in the 9th grade now when I was like 14 and shit. Yeah, I
Actually,
knew
no, I'm
all that.
lying. I was in like eighth grade. I think I was eighth grade because let me see, eighth. Yeah, I was probably about eighth grade, eighth,
No,
ninth
you're
grade. I
you're
think
7
eighth
years
grade.
older. You're 7 years older than me.
Hmm.
Let's say
Yeah,
you'll be 50 in a minute. I'll be 43 in a minute. So
because I
you're
know
7.
Ron Howard. I know Ron Howard was the director. Um,
Lucas produced.
and George Lucas was this. He wrote the story. I know he wrote the story. I know the story was by George Lucas. George
Yeah.
Lucas did the story. Ron Howard directed it, and they had a great cast. Ruth
Yeah.
Greenfield, Kate
Yeah.
Greenfield,
Warwick Davis and Val
Val
Kilmer,
Kilmer,
Joanne
yeah,
Wiley.
Warwick Davis, yeah, Julie Peters.
Mhm.
You had a bunch of
Oh, they had some great
stars.
yeah, and
Because
Billy
you got to
Barty,
remember Billy Barty. Remember he played in
my little homie, the little wizard.
he
Tony
played in
Cox.
Billy Barty. That was my man. He played in Time Bandits. He
Yeah,
played in
Billy
Time
Barty's the little
Bandits.
midget. He was or
Yeah,
the little guy. He was the wizard.
it was
He
the
was the
Wizard. Yeah,
old guy, the old wizard.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
Tony Cox, that's your boy with the nunchucks from Me, Myself, and Irene. The young or not the young, I'm sorry, the little African American brother.
Was he?
Yeah, what else has he been in? Tony Cox. He's He was in Bad Santa. Remember, he's
Okay.
the bad elf
Okay.
or
That's right.
the
Yeah.
double crosser. Yeah,
Now was what's his name? Was Malcolm Dixon in it at all?
Malcolm Dixon.
'Cause he was the one. He was another midget at the time. He played in Time Bandits. Him, Jack Purvis, Rusty
Mm.
Goffey. They all played in Time Bandits. All of them played in Time Bandits.
I know Vunkar was Robert Gillibrand. He's been in some stuff. That's crazy, man. Willow was the shit. Willow was the shit when I was a little kid. Like, I fucked
Bro,
with
you
Willow.
couldn't beat it, bro. Listen,
I fucked with
Willow
Willow.
was like,
And it's
listen,
slept on though. It's underrated. It's a really underrated movie. They don't talk about it enough.
no.
They don't talk about it enough. It was like one of the coolest like dark fantasies going, big production. It was produced by George Lucas and written by Bob Dolman from a story by George Lucas. So while Lucas produced it, co-produced it or executive produced it rather. The story is his, but the screenplay was by Bob Dolman. Because stories, have to turn into screenplays for the movie. So he's just a screenplay writer. That did the screenplay. But so yeah, but it was Lucas conceived the idea for the film in 1972. He came to Ron Howard to direct it during the post-production phase of Cocoon in 1985. Remember Cocoon? That was the shit too.
Cocoon was my joint.
That was
Part 2 wasn't so great, but part 1 was was the shizness.
Part 1 was dope.
Part 1 was dope.
And then he came to Dolman to write the screenplay, coming up with 7 different drafts before they finished in late 1986. It was then set up at MGM, and principal photography began in 87, finishing the following October. And then the majority of filming took place in Wales, with some at Hertfordshire over in a small section in New Zealand as well. Industrial Light and Magic. That's what I think really made it so dope, because we had a lot of, dude, the 80s was chock full of fantasy movies. Like,
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
was.
Beastmaster, Conan, all of that. There was just, you go into
Crawl.
video.
Don't forget.
Yeah,
don't forget Crawl. Yeah.
Bro, you could go on and on for days. There was like whole sections at the video store just for fantasy in the 80s, man. And it was the era of fantasy. But most of those movies were B movies, right? They weren't big budget, super special effect. They were always like kind of, B movies. They just have a muscular guy with some furry loincloth and sword and
that
shit.
was like, whoa, that's how we got down back then, man.
I know.
That's what men were men. That's what men were men. That's how we got down.
Action stars were action stars,
Yeah, that's how we got down, bro.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember. I remember in the 80s. I remember cinema was in its infancy in the 70s and the 60s. But by the time we got to the 80s, so much advancement had been made with special effects, film production, the clarity of the film, the high definition. They weren't using, 8mm came out. So it was like, whoa. And then it got better.
And leading that was ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, which was created by Star Wars. Like it was the team that made Star Wars, the special effects, which, by the way, you cannot talk about Star Wars and not talk about the fact that they revolutionized special effects. They changed the game. There was nothing on that level before, especially in sci-fi, like spaceships and shit. They were the first one to make it look that great, that dope, that cool, that real, that big. Star Wars did that. So that team that made that shit they were like, we're pretty fucking good at this. Let's start a company. And that was ILM, Industrial Light and Magic. So anything that they put their hands on was big. And like my point that I'm getting at is that while fantasy was huge in the 80s, you rarely got a big budget fantasy movie. They were always low budget. And Willow, I think, was one of the movies that changed that gave us our first sort of like big budget fantasy film. Maybe not the first, but it was one of the first. Like think about it, like big fantasy films, big blockbuster fantasy films. You can't think of too many before Willow. Plenty after.
You can't. No, you can't.
Willow is like that's why and it was released with mixed reviews from critics. It grossed 137 million worldwide, and it only cost them 35 million to make. So that's a $102 million profit. So it was a very big success. But while not the blockbuster some expected it to be, it did turn that profit based on international box office returns and a strong home video and television returns. But it did receive 2 Academy Award nominations. And but yeah, I mean, who was the guy you were asking if he was in it?
Who?
Malcolm Dixon? Didn't you actually? Well, Malcolm Dixon was in it. He was Nelwyn Warrior. Nelwyns are the little people. That Willow is one of them. Those are called Nelwyns. The bigger people call them Pecks. But Willow Ufgood is a Nelwyn dwarf. Aspiring sorcerer who plays a critical role in protecting an infant named Alora Dannon from an evil queen, Bavmorda. Val Kilmer is Mad Mardigan, a boastful, immured mercenary swordsman who helps Willow on his quest. Those are like the 2 big main. But yeah, there was a lot of great people involved. Development, production, George Lucas. Like I said, he conceived the idea for the film, originally titled Munchkins in 1972. Yes. Willow was going to be called Munchkins, which obviously is from The Wizard of Oz, in 1972. Similar in intent to Star Wars, he created a number of well-known mythological situations for a young audience. During production of Return of the Jedi in 1982, that's when he approached Warwick Davis, the man who plays Willow, who was portraying Wicket in the Ewok. So if you guys remember the Ewok named Wicket, that's Willow. And if you don't remember Wicket, he was the main young Ewok that was doing, he was like the main one that was doing stuff that had make a personality and that people that they were really talking.
Yeah.
Wicket,
he was the one. Yeah, he was the one. Always,
Mm-hmm.
I think he was like the first one they met when they
when
they went to Endor.
Yeah. And that's
I mean,
so that was Willow.
Yeah, Willow was Willow, I liked it. It was kind of slow, but I liked it. Like it was, can't explain it. Like it was a slower paced movie, but I was still able to watch it, and that's rare. Because if anything slow paced for me, I'm either like, or I'm like, look, I gotta turn this off, or I'll be like, man, it's too slow. But watching Willow, I actually enjoyed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was really good. And so he approaches Wicket, Warwick Davis. 5 years go by. He passed the role. He said he thought it would be great to use a little person in a lead role. A lot of his movies are about a little guy against the system, and this was just more a literal interpretation of that idea. A little guy against the system. He explained that he had to wait until the mid 1980s to make the film because visual effects technology was finally advanced enough to execute his vision, which is how we got the Star Wars prequels later, because the visual effects that were available, technology wise at the time, he couldn't make episode 1, 2, and 3. He had to make episode 3, 4, and 5 first, just because of technology. And you know, the director Ron Howard was looking to do a fantasy film, and then he was at Industrial Light and Magic during the post-production phase of Cocoon when he was first approached by George Lucas to direct Willow, and he had previously starred in Lucas's American Graffiti movie, which was a big success. And Lucas felt that he and Howard shared a symbiotic relationship similar to the one that he enjoyed with Steven Spielberg. And Howard nominated Bob Doldman to write the screenplay. So Doldman joined Howard and Lucas at Skywalker Ranch for a series of lengthy story conferences, and they wrote 7 drafts to the script between the spring of '86 and late '86. Various major film studios turned down the chance to distribute and co-finance it with Lucasfilm because they believed the fantasy genre was unsuccessful due to big, films like Krull. There was also Legend, Dragon Slayer, Labyrinth. Those were big budgets and didn't really perform big. So, Lucas took it to MGM, which was headed by Alan Ladd Jr., and Ladd and Lucas shared a relationship far back from the mid-'70s when Ladd was running 20th Century Fox. He greenlighted Lucas's idea for Star Wars. However, in '86, MGM was facing financial troubles and made a major investment in a fantasy film was like a big liability. It was a big risk. And so Ladd advanced half of the $35 million budget for it in return for a theatrical and television rights, leaving Lucasfilm and home video to pay television rights to offer in exchange for the other half. RCA, Columbia Pictures Home Video, paid $15 million to Lucas in exchange for the video rights. So Lucas named the character of General Kale after film critic Pauline Kael, a fact that was not lost on Kael in her printed review of the film. She referred to General Kael as an homage au moi. Similarly, the two-headed dragon was called an Ebor-risk after film critics Siskel and Ebert. Yeah, Eber-Sisk. It was called an Eber-Sisk. So Siskel and Ebert. But yeah, and then they started filming in '87. Interior footage took place at Elstree Studios in England. So yeah, they shot it in England, but in New Zealand, where they also shot Lord of the Rings. So a lot of great locations in New Zealand. Like, if you're doing a fantasy film, New Zealand apparently is like the place. It's got the,
of course,
it's got the
it,
lens.
it look
Like it's
it
right.
looks like a Dungeons and Dragons landscape,
Yeah.
When me and Jim Me do our video, that's where we going. Me and Jim Me gonna go to New Zealand. We're gonna film our video together. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's going down.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
yeah.
But yeah, so Willow was dope, and I'm excited for them to make a little show out of it. I don't know if it's a show or a movie. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but I hope it's
StarCraft
good.
was knocked off of Star Wars. What you did back by copying something big. Star Crash, that was funny. When I was a kid, I thought the dragons in that movie were dope. Good movies, yes.
Yeah, Star Crash was it? Did you ever? I don't know if you ever saw it. You ever saw Star Crash?
Nobody saw Star Crash.
But Star Crash was a straight robbery.
That shit was trash.
It was trash, man. But I mean, it's one of those movies that went down in cinema history. It's got a place.
Straight up knockoff. Yeah.
It's got a place in cinema history. But it is a knockoff. I mean, and it's so badly acted. Like
the worst part about it is the guy claims that he wrote it before Star Wars.
Right. That's true. But it's just so poorly acted, man. It's just to watch it. You know what? To watch it is just laughable.
Yeah, you just laugh at it. You just laugh at how bad it is. That's kind of what I was doing with Obi-Wan. We were kind of laughing at Obi-Wan. Like, some of it was so bad. We were just laughing. It was so bad.
But Obi-Wan was good, man. Obi-Wan was all right, Reno. It was all right so far.
Well, it was good overall.
Like I said,
it was good overall.
Right now,
it's not what I expected.
In my book, Reno, right now, they stopped before it got too boring. And I hope in episode 3 it picks up and they don't, because I mean, I got all my story. We know what Obi-Wan was doing in the desert. I mean, we know what he was doing. He was watching over Luke. He was following orders. We know that. But
Yeah.
now he had to break protocol, and so now he broke protocol.
No, but you're
And we're
talking
gonna see
about
what
the
happens.
story and stuff. The story's great. That's not the problem. The problem is the acting. The problem is the acting of the side characters that was just horrible. It was laughable. By the
I
way,
played
that
too
little
like,
girl, Leia,
mhm,
is talking about she's 10. She was
mhm.
7. She was 7 years old at most. That kid was a little kid. She only just turned 9 now. So I don't know why they tried to say she was 10. Like 10-year-old kids are way older than that. And it was just absurd. Remember the part where she runs away
Mhm.
from Obi-Wan and he's like struggling to catch her, running
Right.
over rooftops. It was just like, come on, bro. When she first ran away from the guys in the woods, that was ridiculous. Go watch that again. Watch how a guy actually she ran under a tree branch and the guy actually ran up to the tree branch and then bumped it with his chest and was like, oh, 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 can't get through. Like,
They were
come
generic robots. They
no,
were
they
generic
were
robots.
aliens. No, they were aliens.
You sure?
They were
Well,
yeah.
maybe right, but I'm saying maybe that species of alien just doesn't comprehend that you got to duck and go under. It could be true. It could happen. Mm, I'm just
You're,
saying.
you're sleepy.
No, 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 I'm not. I'm actually wide awake. I actually feel good. I'm wide awake. I actually feel good. Maybe that species of alien just don't duck.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe.
they can't bend at the waist.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying. It's a possibility. That's
sure,
why it happened.
sure. That's lemonade for you guys. That's lemonade.
Yeah, listen, I'm here to make sense out of the unsensible.
Yeah. No, and that's what. But no, Obi-Wan was cool. Obi-Wan was cool. It was like I said, man, especially if you're a casual observer, you're not like a deep, Star Wars nut like I am, and you don't know any of the rules that they broke, then you're looking at me like, what are you talking about? That's a great show. It was great. So knowing, not if you don't know about Star Wars, it was great. If you don't mind bad acting for TV shows, it was great. That would never fly on like HBO, like an HBO show, like Sopranos or something.
Well, Disney. I think Disney tried to get back the '80s feel because I just read an article the other day where they were saying, they want to try to make Star Wars more kid friendly and things like that. But
Mhm.
the kids that watch Star Wars are adults now. They don't want to see a kid friendly Star Wars because they're not
Thank
kids
you.
anymore.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. And listen, give them. There should be. I love that there's kid content for Star Wars. There absolutely should be, just like we had as kids. But when you're talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi, that's our guy. You give us that show. Let the kids have Ahsoka
So yeah,
or even
Soka, right?
Mandalorian or whoever. But Obi-Wan, that was our guy. So like that show should have been for us, but they didn't do it for us. That's why I was so disappointed. The show was not for us, and we're the ones that have been loyal, dedicated fans for decades. Spend billions of dollars collectively on merchandise, tickets, movies,
T-shirts,
you
socks,
name it, from lunchboxes to
scarves,
action figures to
hats, yeah, underwear, underoos. We done it all.
probably every
But
product known to man has a Star Wars version.
yeah, they
From
even
Mount
have Star Wars cologne. Yeah, Star
Star
Wars
Wars
cologne.
bed sheets and cologne
Yeah,
and
yeah.
food.
You can walk around smell like Bantan Poodoo.
Smelling like chewy.
That too. Yeah, they got chewy flavor.
Straight
They
like
got
Chewbacca.
Yeah, they got Bantan Poodoo, Wookie.
Mhm.
The list goes on and on.
But
They got the trash compactor monster smell. They got it all.
it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
I just think we know that with all the Star Wars stuff they got coming out, you got Andor, you got Skeleton Crew, you got I don't know,
mhm.
this one thing is called Jedi
Well,
something, Star Wars Jedi,
I'm glad
the
you brought up
cartoon shorts.
yeah, I'm glad you brought up Skeleton Crew because that's a kid show.
Is it?
Skeleton, yeah, it's 100% like for little kids, and that's what I'm talking about. Cool, like that's dope. Like good, get do the little kid shows. Like that's cool, but Don't we get anything? Like, shouldn't we deserve something? Shouldn't we get That's how I feel. I just feel like we should get
We
to have
should.
that, man. We should,
Yeah,
man.
but you know what? We got to deal with Kathleen Kennedy. And like I said, they wanted it's the like I remember, man, Star Wars has a hardcore audience, but the
Yeah,
only people
exactly.
Disney are trying to appease are the casual audience, and
Yeah,
that's
the
not
people
fair.
who it's not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair.
That's
Get a
what I'm talking
hardcore audience. Yeah, get a hardcore audience what they want. Casual audience to catch on. If it's good, it's good.
And
The
it is
casual
good.
audience is
That's
just
why
watching
we're fans for 30 years. That's what I don't understand. Like, it's like we always say, you got the source material. Like the source material that made it popular enough for you to pay billions of dollars to George Lucas to buy it. So obviously something wasn't broken. So what are you fixing?
it.
That's just the way I see it, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's true.
On to more hip hop and comic news. Uh
Yeah, let's move it right along. Moving right along.
We're moving right along. We got some comic book news. Well, I don't know, not comic book, but comic stuff. X-Men. I'm super excited. Is coming out. We've got that 90. It's called X-Men 97.
Yeah,
Uh,
when is that coming out? When are we gonna get that?
it's a reboot of X-Men coming in 2023. And some of the, like back in October 2021, they announced during Disney Plus Day that a continuation of the famous pop culture television show X-Men the Animated Series, one of the best animated, probably in my opinion, the best animated Marvel project and one of my favorite cartoons in the 90s, was coming to the streaming platform in late 2023, premiering all the way back to in 1992 on Fox. X-Men the Animated Series was a critical and commercial success with scores as high as 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and other aggregate ranking sites, with the original team of Cyclops, Professor X, Wolverine, Rogue, Beast, Gambit, Jean Grey, Jubilee, and the X-Men adapted many popular storylines from the comics during its seminal 5-season run, including the Dark Phoenix saga. With more than 25 years between the ending of the original series and the beginning of this new one, hundreds of new X-Men stories have been written and produced by Marvel, giving the writers of the new show a mountain of material to choose from and adapt. And so I just want to say there are some stories that we definitely should get. For one, you already know my favorite House of X, Powers of X. Between roughly 2007 and 2018, Marvel's X-Men line of comics was a bit of a lull. And titles such as Rick Remender's Uncanny X-Force or Kieran Gillian's Uncanny X-Men and Brian Bendis's All New X-Men are the ones that stand from the crowd during that era. But the rest of the X-Men lines suffered, going through multiple reboots and writers. But in
They did.
2019, yeah, but what brought me back to comic books as a whole in 2019, the X-Men titles received a massive reboot under legendary Marvel architect Jonathan Hickman, my favorite author, starting with House of X and Powers of X, which is bringing the X-Men to their new home on a mutant island called Krakoa. Hickman's X-Men reboot has received immense critical and fan success since it began, with the new a new X-Men the Animated Series premiering. What better way to reboot than with a classic story that rebooted X-Men comics for the better? I mean, this story rebooted X-Men in the comics. Why not let it reboot the animated? I think that would be a great idea. And then you have, seems like a no-brainer. You got Scarlet Witch, House of M, right? So if you remember, one of the biggest X-Men stories post 2000 is House of M, is a story in which Magneto, after claiming a conspiracy to get rid of mutants by U.S. President Richard Nixon, becomes the leader of the nation of Genosha and allows for mutants to receive the superiority he so desperately claims over normal humans. And it's revealed throughout the series that the world of House of M was created from the reality altering powers of the Scarlet Witch. in the end, and what the House of M storyline is most known for is the Scarlet Witch decimating the mutant population from nearly 1 million down to just 198. A
Yes.
story with serious consequences in a fleshed out world. House of M would be a best adaptation in the in television format, and it would give great drama to the series. You know, because what she did, she said because people don't understand. Scarlet Witch is not just she doesn't just blast red fireballs. She's a reality warper. She can change
Yes.
reality, right? And she could
She
just
can.
she just said no more mutants, and boom, millions of mutants lost their powers, and they just became regular humans. Left 198 that were still mutant. So that seems to me like a no-brainer. Then you get one of my favorite of all time storylines. What up, Norin? Is the Messiah complex. So these are
Yes.
two of my favorite characters. We got Cable's my favorite. You got Bishop right there,
Bishop.
soon to be played by Method Man, we hope. But yeah, I've got like
Remember they did the Apocalypse War. They did they went to the future where Cable was from. And then they showed how they did Bishop's origin, show how he got to the past. I think, I'm not sure, Reno, but I think they even had Bishop's sister in the cartoon. But I'm not sure. I gotta watch the old ones again because I don't remember them. They're kind of vague in my mind.
Oh yeah, you gotta watch. They're on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I do remember when Wolverine fought Sabretooth on there. I remember that. That I remember. I remember Morph. They showed because they did a lot of comic book canon stuff. Like remember Morph dies.
Well, that's what, in my opinion, is so great about the show. It was straight from the comics. Like they changed a couple things, but it was the comic book story.
Straight to comic book. Yes, it was. Yes, it was good.
Yep.
Yeah. How Wolverine found Jubilee, like it was good. They brought in Gambit. It was just what it ran for like 4 seasons or something like that.
It was 5.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh, I definitely got to go in there and watch it now.
Yeah, dog.
I always thought it was like 4 seasons. I never knew. I never knew we got a 5th season. I know it was on for a long time, but and I remember when it debuted, I watched it. I was like, it came on a Sunday. I was like, man, I was like ready.
Yeah.
And I was happy after it went off. I was like, it was good.
It was really good. Yeah, and yeah, we got like seeing Cable on the show and like learning about like that's where I learned about a lot of characters on this show. I mean, it started in 1992. I was a young kid. I wasn't reading X-Men comics yet. I was still reading Spawn and Carnage and Spider-Man, and this show made me like an X-Men fanatic. Like just this show. So I really dig this show. And I can't wait for this sequel to come out. And I've got they even made some comic books adapted from this show, which I'll show you in a second. But House of M, essentially the sequel to House of M is Messiah Complex. So it starts where House of M leaves off, and then the Messiah Complex is centered around the birth of the first mutant since decimation. Since Wanda said no more mutants were being born. Until Messiah Complex, we got Hope Summers. And with the nearly every faction and team of mutants going after this Messiah of mutants was this new baby, you had Cable and a massive 3-part saga of betrayal, suspense, pure mutant intensity. Messiah Complex would be phenomenal. Cable is like Spade, what up, bro?
What's up, fella?
Spade.
So you got Cable. I'm just talking about the X-Men animated series right now, and like what stories would be dope.
And we want to know. Yeah, we also want to know, what did it mean to you?
Yeah, how did you like the animated series, the X-Men animated series in the 90s?
What's your favorite? What's your favorite episode, if you can remember?
My favorite episode would have been like season 2 when Morph came back.
Yeah,
I told you, we just talked about that. I said they killed Morph, the whole 9 yards, because that happened in the comics, and a lot of people. Yeah, the Mojo episodes. A lot of people were hyped for those.
Yeah.
some of my boys I grew up with, man, they were like, I had a friend, his name was their named Eddie and Rashawn, man. They were huge X-Men fans, and when they did that, the Mojo episodes and oh, they were ecstatic. Like, I mean, they talked about it for weeks. They were like, oh man, they did Mojo and they did the Phoenix Saga,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like Reno, I was kind of new to X-Men, and I didn't really read any of those stories until later on.
Right.
I started reading X-Men around probably the 8th grade with the Executioner Song storyline. That was my introduction to them. Like I knew about them, but I'd never
Right.
read anything.
Right.
But the cartoon, dude, that was one cartoon. Of course, kids know nothing about this these days. Waking up, and going into your living room, or if you didn't have
Get
a
your
TV in
bowl of
your room,
cereal.
and
Yeah, get your bowl of
watching
cereal.
cartoons
Yeah.
all day. So it was like I was hyped. Like 9 o'clock, 9:30, X-Men would come on. I'm sitting there watching you. I'm glued in for 30 minutes. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a bowl of cereal. The roof of
Yeah.
your
Mhm.
mouth was tore up. Hey, but you watched, but you watched X Men. You got your
Definitely.
Yep.
X Men on. Yeah, you got your X Men on. I
But
mean,
Yeah.
look, for me, I didn't read. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, Spade. I didn't get in. I started reading X Men. I started off at the Apocalypse War. I just thought
Age
that
of
was
Apocalypse.
Age of Apocalypse. Yeah, I thought that was dope. And I read that. I still have the original comics. I read the whole series. I was at
And
the
that's a
comic book
whole
store every week.
different universe. That's not even a
Right.
normal X-Men universe. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Those
because
are some.
I read those and I was so blown away. I went back and I started reading the other ones. Like like I'll be in a comic book store. I just started reading different stories, like going back and just buying old X-Men comics.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
But
where
they
I
were
Yeah.
am
good.
now, man. Like I love reading the older X-Men books. And, not so
Yeah.
much as the new one, but I'm pretty sure I would give it a chance and read it. If I could sit down and just read it. But like the older stuff, I really love.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. I
good.
love
It's
the
good,
80s,
man.
the 80s stuff. Great. Chris Claremont. He wrote the Phoenix and all of that great stuff. Like a lot of the great, Days of Future Past. Like Claremont
Mhm.
gave us all the real serious, X-Men events. And then, a lot of different writers took it and did great stuff with it, Bendis and all of that. But Jonathan Hickman, in my opinion, is the one that really brought it back to life with
Mhm.
House of X, Powers of X in 2018 or 2019. But that's what brought me back to comics. But this show, the X-Men show, is what brought me to X-Men comics. I was reading, Spawn and Spider-Man and Carnage and that kind of shit, but I didn't get into X-Men till this show. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I became like a X-Men fanatic. But Messiah Complex, I was just talking about, is one of the great stories of X-Men that were more recent and kind of led off from the House of M, which is when Wanda said no more mutants. So
Mhm.
no more mutants were being born, as well as all the mutants that already existed lost their powers. So no new mutants were being born until finally this one mutant is born in the future, and Cable comes back and has to protect her, and like just sticks with Hope and Cable. And so
Right.
he's like running from, and Bishop is chasing them and the whole thing. And it's a great storyline. And House of M, Messiah Complex, that whole thing would be fucking great. But I definitely want to see House of X, Powers of X. But Schism is another great X-Men story that I'd love to see them do. You got and I think that Schism kind of did lead into and who is it that said that? Norrin Rad, Avengers versus X-Men. But Schism is a key plot point in the original X-Men animated series. Was the conflict between Cyclops and Wolverine with their clashing personalities and their fights over Jean Grey, because they both love
Mhm.
Jean Grey. And the clash between these two X-Men comes to a head in 2011 comics Schism. It's called Schism crossover.
Yeah.
After the massive battles with evil mutants, the Hellfire Club and the ever-present Sentinels, Cyclops and Wolverine finally reach their breaking point due to their ideological differences, and they finally fight each other. Heartbreaking to see, but Schism would be would bring the level of stakes and emotions to the animated series that we would need. And I think it divided the X-Men into factions, and it was a great storyline that would really give them a lot to sort of lean on and make a great series. Another one I think is Dark Angel, the Dark Angel saga.
Hmm.
Are you guys familiar? They with the original animated series adapted the Dark Phoenix saga. It seems fitting to have the new series adapt a story in a similar vein, the Dark Angel saga, taking place during Rick Remender's Uncanny X run.
Hollywood,
Dark Angel saga.
you know, Hollywood isn't that smart.
No,
Look,
Hollywood isn't that smart, but
I know.
hopefully,
Like, all right, like, let's take
hopefully
for instance,
Marvel is
okay, if you wanted to do this new X-Men show, like we're sitting here talking about, we know what it was about.
right.
You could actually say, all right, we can do some of the more modern stuff, and we can do some of the stuff that they didn't get to do back in the 90s, but
Yeah,
straight from the comic books, like they were already doing. Like, but I
yeah.
know what's gonna happen. They're gonna get on here, they're gonna write their own stories, they're gonna do their own thing, and nobody wants to
We don't
see
want
that.
that. We don't
Yeah,
want
nobody
that.
wants. We just right. We were cool. Like it's like when you do Young Justice, or like like Bruce Timm and his crew does. Every year they do one of the better comic books in DC, and they make an animated movie out of it. I
Well,
mean,
what
it's
made this
happening.
series great, what we loved about it was that it was stories from the comics animated.
Comics.
So if they make this show and they don't adapt stories from the comics, it's gonna fail horribly because that's what we loved about the show.
That's
If
all
they
we want,
make
right? And that's all
yeah,
we
if
want.
they just start making up their own stories, it's gonna be trash and I will hate it, and so will everybody else. But
Right.
these stories that I'm suggesting are more modern big event stories that would make sense for them to adapt because that's what they got to do. They got to adapt from the comics. That's what the show always did. It doesn't I don't see them not doing that again. That would just be not that smart. It would be insanely stupid. But the Dark Angel saga was dope because you had Archangel, which is a dope character that is super underrated. And he takes the place of the famous villain X Apocalypse. And so, he amasses new armies. He's got his 4 horsemen and to fight X-Force. And the only way for them to stop Archangel is to go to the universe of the Age of Apocalypse, which is considered to be one of the best X-Men stories of the 2010s. And Dark Angel Saga would be a great way to bring bring comics to the animated series. But I would love to see love to see the X-Force. So if they do the X-Force, that will be great because
Stu shaking his head. I'm like, why you shaking your head, Stu?
Because he trying, he getting us all hyped to be let down. It's like being an Eagles fan. You hype us up to let us down, man. Nobody listen. I would love to see all of that, but Hollywood isn't that smart, and Disney thinks about kids more than the people that grew up watching this stuff. I mean, listen,
well, here's the
DC got
thing,
it right.
the
DC got
original
it right.
writers of the cartoon are a husband and wife team that love the original books, and they're returning as the writers for this show. Norrin Rad makes a great point. So we're not getting a new bunch of writers. We're getting these same writers from the original show.
DC made a deal with Bruce Timm and his crew after Justice League, um, to do animated movies, and Bruce Timm said, you know, the best stuff we got is the content that's already written. So let me bring that stuff to life. I'll do a couple a year, maybe 1 or 2, and we'll keep it moving. And if you look at my video collection, he's done quite a few, and they're all good. I mean, Crisis on Infinite Earths. I mean, Apocalypse. You got the Apocalypse War. You got, I mean, it just list goes on. You got the Wonder Woman origin, the Green Lantern, First Flight. I mean, you got Batman Year One, Part 1 and 2, Batman Long Halloween, and they're all good. They're all
What's this have
good.
to do
Like,
with X-Men?
is that the reason why X-Men, the original 97 X-Men was so good is because that's what they did.
they
They
went for the
stuck with the
comic.
source material. Right.
Yeah,
Like we always say,
that's
they
what I
stuck
just
with the
said.
source material. But I'm just saying, I don't think that they're gonna I don't know. I hope they stick with the source material and give it to us so me and Spade can be happy. But as of right now, Hollywood's not that smart, man. I
What do you mean
mean,
you and Spade can be happy?
you know
That's
what I
what
mean?
I
Because
want
that's
too. I want the same thing.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, how many times have we when it comes to a cartoon or an
Stu sleep.
anime, we'd be like, all right, we'd be like, yo, I want to see that joint, and then we get to see it, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh come on, like they let us down, like we like this was like why do this? And Disney, unless it's their own entity, they're good at making their own cartoons. They gave us Red, that was good. Fox
There
and the
is
Hound
no
was good.
bigger supporter of the fact that we are getting shit in the department of source material projects. The reason that I'm excited for this show is because this show is about source material. That's what the show's about. So continuing this show would have to be the same thing, or it's not continuing this show. They're just making a new X-Men show, which they've done and they could do again, but they're making a point of returning to the X-Men animated series, it's called X-Men the Animated Series because it's an animated version of the X-Men comics. That's what the show's about. Now, I understand what you're saying, and I don't disagree that we've been let down time after time and time after time, and I probably shouldn't get my hopes up because that's just the way shit goes. But there is a big part of me that thinks that
Because
because
Disney,
it's the
you know,
X-Men animated series, that's what the show's
listen,
about. It's about animating
Reno,
the comics.
Reno, listen. Disney listens to everybody except for the hardcore fans. If you ever noticed that, when
Yeah,
LGBTQ starts
I think
bucking
so.
up on Disney, Disney backs off. They give them whatever they want.
They give them whatever they want.
When cancel culture starts bucking up, they they back off. You know what I mean. So
Absolutely.
I
We
don't know,
talk
man.
about it all the
Like I
time.
said,
But I don't think LGBT is gonna have a problem with them using source material for this show.
right. You know what I mean. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
Nor and Red, the animation will be super important because the animation on the original show wasn't hot. It wasn't super great. Stu will be right back, guys. But the animation on this show, the art, as you can see, is great. The drawings of these characters were spot on right out the comics. They were very well translated, but the actual animating of them was like 2 frames per, you know what I mean? It's like playing a video game on like 10 frames. It was very choppy and sort of, almost like almost like a still like a motion comic. It just wasn't great. It wasn't the best animation.
You talking
That's
about
not
on the original
this,
cartoon, like this
yeah,
one that we're looking at?
right.
I'm kind of leaning toward the opposite. I thought far as for the day, the time it was pretty good. I mean, but we were kids then, so we didn't know much any better.
Go watch it again. Watch it's on Disney Plus. Go watch it again. Because I have watched it recently. It's not that the art's bad, the art's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say the animation wasn't that great, I mean the actual movement of the characters, the actual
Now,
movement of
I will say this: as the seasons progressed, the art style and the animation did get a little bit worse. But when it like first began, to me it was
I
like
thought it got worse.
I thought it got worse as it went on. Like later seasons, it was what 4 or 5 seasons.
It was choppy. That's what I'm talking about, Norman Brad. That's what I mean by it was like choppy animation.
Yeah,
It
because
was, it
like
was 5
when
seasons, but I thought it got better.
I did like
I could be wrong.
I know I watched religiously like 1 through 4, and then they moved season 5 they moved it to like a weird time slot or something. Like I couldn't
Yeah.
watch the completion of it. So when I went back and watched episodes, it was like it wasn't as crisp as it was in the beginning to me. Like the way they drew them, it was just like I don't know, it was too cartoony to me. And I'm
Okay.
like, when y'all did like season 1 through 3, they were great.
Right.
They were drawing great. And like even seemed like to me, it seemed like they were animated great. But like after 4, when whatever happened with the transitions and stuff, it just seemed like they were like, all right, we just gonna draw some and boom, there you go.
Right.
And I was like,
Yeah.
nah, man, this wasn't as good as it should have been.
Well, I don't really remember that, but it makes a lot of sense because I do kind of remember it sort of being cartoony at some point. Like it didn't like it, like when it first started, it was mad like comic book, like less cartoony. But let's see what you're talking about because I think you're right. I think in season 5 it was definitely different. Let me pull that shit up. Bing bong bing.
Because I was just like, when I watched it one day, I was like, wait a minute, this don't look like the same X-Men cartoon that I started watching.
Right. Okay, yeah. So that's season. So season 1 looks like this.
Previously on X-Men. Powers make us superior. That is why they fear us. That is why I must stand trial. They must.
You see how it's kind of choppy the way he's moving?
Like like that you talking about? It's kind of robotic almost.
Yeah, and watch like see how they move around. It's not like really smooth movement.
Uh-huh.
Let me see if I can. Yeah, like it's like looking at something with a low frame rate. Let's see. Let's jump over to season 5, which you can already see by the thumbnails that it looks like even a different art style. This is season 4. I mean, look how great this art was. I mean, look at Nightcrawler. That's phenomenal. Wolverine's always looking dope. Wolverine right there. He's got the patch. You got the master mold. Magneto looks great. Apocalypse, one of my favorite scenes. Cable. Cable's on point. Dude, I love this part right here. Let's check out.
On X-Men.
The 4 Horsemen of Apocalypse.
Those who oppose me shall perish. Dude, Apocalypse was so epic in this shit. But let's check out season 5 here. Yeah, it looks like even a different art style almost. Let me turn that down a little bit.
This doggone net is getting on my nerve. I'm like, see, like that. Like it don't look the same. Like you can.
You're right.
And I was just like, man, like come on, y'all.
Yeah, you're right. It did get yeah. Yeah, it's almost a different show. Yeah, season 5 was definitely very different, but I mean, look at these. Season 1 through 4 was great.
Not even saying anything. I'm just going to sit here and let you.
Oh, my bad. Where you
I'm just going to say,
Why? No, don't say. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about. Listen, the X-Men cartoon. What's this? 5 seasons? Okay, this is how many episodes in season 5? It could be a lot.
Season 5 had 6. It was a very short season.
Damn,
and you know why?
5 almost.
And you know why?
Count. Yeah, because that was.
And you know why? Because they probably were doing their own thing. The artwork probably changed.
But look,
They probably
25 episodes for season 4.
right. But look at it looks like season 3, season 2, and season 1.
Yeah, no, 5
Yeah.
is different. 5 is definitely different. You got 20 episodes for season 3. You got 13 episodes for season 2. And you got 13 for season 1. So yeah, 1 and 2. Is that right? 1 and 2 have 13. Then 3 and 4 have 20 and 25. Season 5 has 6 episodes that aren't even made by the same artist or animator.
Exactly.
Exactly what? What is that? What does that mean? What do you mean?
What I'm saying is, by the time they got to season 5, Hollywood started thinking.
It's not Hollywood.
Got
It's
in there.
Fox Animation.
Same thing. Yeah, Hollywood, same thing. Makes me no difference. Listen, somebody that's not a fan, some cigar chomping guy was like, "Hey, let's introduce this and let's do that. Let's do something big like they're doing over at Disney." And I guarantee you that season 5 is probably structured more like a Disney cartoon. Disney cartoons like Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers or something like that, rather than it being what we originally got in seasons 1 through 4. I bet you real money.
I
bet you
agree.
real money.
I agree. That's what
Because
we were
that's the montage
but
of
it's
Hollywood.
it's still comic book stories. It's still content from the comics.
I don't
It's
think
not
season
made
5
up.
was.
Yeah.
I really
Oh yeah. It was.
Was it? I mean, I didn't see all of them. I didn't see all of them. Like, I can tell you now, I don't remember season 5. I remember at least 4 seasons.
Yeah, season 5, I think Stu or Spade said it came later or at a different time slot or something.
Yeah, they had moved it like because I remember watching on Fox when I was little, and it seemed like they just we had 1 through 4, and you never really got a conclusion, a definitive conclusion, and then they announced that there's another season, but like it was on like a weird time slot, like I don't know, like real early in the morning or some shit like that. You
used to come on like Sunday mornings, yeah. It's come on like super early on
like
Sunday mornings.
instead of coming on like like early, real early Saturday
it used
or
to come
Sunday
on
morning or something. It wasn't
coming on in the afternoon.
It might have been.
I thought it. I personally thought
it was not coming on the regular time slot, like between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Well, at least Central Time. That I was used to seeing.
Right.
I thought it came on Sundays, like Sunday mornings, because on Sundays we had Dragon Ball Z, X-Men, Centurions, Rambo. Like you had all those cartoons that came on Sundays, and then because that's when they slowly started pushing Saturday cartoons to Sunday. And then, like Spade said, I think they moved X-Men to like Thursdays. There's something weird they did with it.
It was really something crazy. Because I remember like when after X-Men debuted, when Spider-Man debuted, and they had a crossover episode 1. And it was just like, all right, cool. You got Spider-Man or X-Men, and you watch Spider-Man, and then X-Men went off. And then I assumed off air because we were left with Spider-Man. And then after Spider-Man ended, they had some of the cartoons like Incredible Hulk, Fantastic Four, and Silver Surfer. And it was like they didn't last long at all, so they were just in oblivion. Basically.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. Yeah, you had the Hulk. It was a really bad Hulk cartoon. Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer. There was even
there's an Iron Man cartoon.
It was an Iron Man joint. Man, that job was bad. That Iron Man joint was really bad. There was an Avengers one too, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it didn't last long.
Nah, it didn't last long. Nah, you're right. It didn't
last long. And it was like they waited until the new millennium for shit to get popular, like 2000 with Justice League, and then like Disney looking at like, oh well, we can release an Avengers cartoon. I'm like, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, that holds a special place in my heart.
Okay, why is that?
Just like the X-Men and Spider-Man, it was just a dope cartoon, man.
Remember Spider-Woman? So this was a classic show, Spider-Woman. I remember that shit. Then the old Spider-Man. Yeah, I watched
Now listen, does that Spider-Man, that first one you had to curse on, that is actually Spider-Man without the Amazing Friends. And I
This
think it
one
might
here.
flop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
think it might have.
Amazing.
And then they bought the Amazing Friends in like the next season. It's actually,
They
I
only
think
did one
season
season
one.
of this. There was
Yeah,
only like a few episodes.
Mhm.
I think
But
Reno is supposed to be season one of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends because I remember watching that cartoon, and then the
20.
next season we got Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I always thought that was
Yeah.
because I remember that
I,
the music is the same, the voice actors, everything, the art,
the
everything is
voice
is
actor
the
is actually
same
different.
The voice
for
acting's different.
Spider-Man. Then His Amazing
Yeah, from the Spider-Man to the Spider-Man Amazing Friends, it's an actual different voice actor. I never knew that
Mm.
either. And I was like,
for
I was
Spider-Man.
watching
Yeah, for Spider-Man. Yeah,
Spider-Man His Amazing Friends one time, and I was like, I got through that. I was like, I'm gonna go back and watch Spider-Man. I'm like, dang it, the guy's voice is different.
it is. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Now I know the music is the same, the production is all the same, and
This
they just
this was
added Iceman and Firestar.
see Doom, don't he look so dope? Bro, I remember this show. Like I was a real little kid, man, when this came out.
I remember watching this
Yeah,
joint. I
Yeah,
watched it
bro. This
hard too. I was every
was
Saturday. It
deep
came,
for
and
me.
this was the last when Spider-Man came on. That was the last cartoon that came on
Bro, I was
for
probably
the day. It came on about 12 o'clock, between 11 and 12.
3 or 4 years old when this shit first came. Well, when I first seen it. This shit came out in like
yeah,
81, bro. I was 2 years old when this dropped.
Did it? I
yeah.
thought it came out later than that. You know, was it
81.
It
81?
was a
Yeah.
70s, early 80s cartoon, but I'm like Reno because we're the
I
same
didn't know it
age.
was
I remember
81.
watching it as a baby.
I thought it was later than that. I didn't know it was 81.
Mm. Yeah, this was an old show because I remember look at
Look
Magneto.
at Magneto.
Ah,
Yeah.
he looked terrible. Yeah, this is 81.
Whoa. I
Hold
like
on,
that,
let's
man.
hear.
I
Oh
like.
shit.
Magneto. I should have guessed.
Yeah, look at that.
No good, web slinger. A magnetic suspension beam will keep you out of my way for a while.
Ah,
Woo! Look at that.
up here, Buckethead.
Wow.
Meow.
That's too easy. Look out below.
Yeah, that voice actor is crazy.
Don't be a
Yeah.
I can draw upon
Come on, man. You can't say that ain't dope. Now look at that's the bomb.
threads will stop me.
Hey, look here. I like.
That's
I don't care
real.
if anybody say it ain't not. I'm like, it's a lot better than some of the shit they had got these days.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Look at it. Look at Magneto. Almost every scene, it's like he looks different.
Yep.
Every scene. Look at him there, and now look at him there. That's like a different helmet. It's almost like a different person drew it.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
like it is different.
But it's still dope though. I don't care what none of y'all say. It's still dope, you know.
Oh man, dude, this is so dope to me. This was like the dopest shit in the world.
I mean, it's a shiznit, man. Like I said, I went back and watched it. I still enjoyed it. Like, it really took me back to my not just childhood, my babyhood almost.
Man, they're almost better than anything that's out now.
They are. They're way better than anything that's out now, man.
Cause I got
Come on,
some of
man.
these joints on VHS, Stu.
I got them all.
You
I
got them
bought
on
them all on
DVD.
DVD. I got them all on DVD. Now those Spade, I can't find official copies of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends on DVD, and the ones I did, they were super astronomically high.
Really?
I mean, I guess at one point they bought them out, and people bought them, and they were just like dubbing them. I mean, I'll buy a dub if you give it to me, but to find them, like somebody put them out and you can go buy them like in the box. You know, Disney needs to just put them out, man. Let me get mine. Let me get mine. Yeah, let me get mine to add to the collection. I mean, I got everything. I got Bionic 6. I got Starcom. I got Thundercats. I got Heathcliff. Josie and the Pussycats. Speed Buggy. Hong Kong Phooey. Grape Ape. I got all of that, man.
Nice.
I remember that, but I never watched it. I remember Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Woman came out in 79. This came out before Spider-Man. This came out the year I was born.
Yeah.
Because the original Spider-Man was 66. The original was like 66 or something like that.
Oh,
and that was good.
Right.
That was good. That's
the one I was thinking of. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah,
where is that one? How come they don't?
Yeah, that should be on there. That's another one that's hard to find. And when you do find it, it's astronomically expensive, bro.
Remember, like he didn't have any webs on his suit.
No.
Check it. Oh, I remember this. I remember this when I was a little kid.
Is she flying?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is Jessica Drew, who was a child while visiting her father's laboratory, was bitten by a poisonous spider. For with spider serum, Dr. Drew not only saved his daughter's life, but unknowingly gave her incredible spider-like powers, dedicated to fighting evil while weaving her web of justice. It's Spider-Woman.
Ain't it something how like the simplest stuff could give you superpowers back then?
Oh yeah. And she was nothing like Spider-Man. That's what
No.
was cool. She was completely different.
Mhm.
Yeah, because she like secretes pheromones and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. She shoots
Yeah.
lasers and she's got like, I don't know, time travel or teleportation or some shit. She's got all kind of weird mystic powers. See there, she is shooting laser beams. Like she yeah, she
Is
had
that a
crazy.
giant? Is that a giant spider? Or are you just? Or
Yeah.
is she just happy to see me?
All right.
Damn.
That's Spider Man, right?
Yep.
Yeah. This
Yo,
is,
that voice actor.
I gotta watch this cartoon, man. I never watched it. I can't even lie. When you think about it, some of the animation back then to be, man, it was actually on point, man. Like
It
I was
reminds me of
watching,
Scooby Doo.
yeah, I was watching
Yep. Yep.
Space
Same
Ghost.
era.
Space Ghost. Yeah, Space
Yeah,
Ghost. I was
Space
watching
Ghost.
animation of Space Ghost. It was dope. I was like, yo, it actually did the thing back then.
Yeah. Yeah, Space Ghost was great.
So was she in the jungle?
Yeah.
Yep. And nobody's spider sense went off.
Yeah, right. Right.
Right.
That's funny. Yeah, it was one season. Let's see, they gave it 16 episodes.
One season, 16 episodes.
Yeah. That's all
Wow,
she
they
got.
gotta bring Spider Woman back. Give us that. Give us a new Spider Woman. Give us a 20.
She's kind of making a little resurgence in the comics. They're making new Spider. They made a new Spider Woman volume in the comics. There's a whole new Spider Woman storyline out there. It's sort of making a little comeback, and so they might do something with her, movie wise, show wise, cartoon wise. This thing needs to hurry
Think
up.
so?
Well, like I said, she's making a comeback in the comics, so that usually translates. The way Marvel does it now is they put out comics that they plan to put out in the, in the MCU or in some way in other media. So when you see like an old character like Spider-Woman come out with a new volume, you know that they're probably gonna have a show or a movie, or she's gonna be in something or something. And then you got Amazing Friends, which came out in 81, right when the first Spider-Man finished. And you got some great episodes. You got the Triumph of the Green Goblin. Mr.
That's my joint right there.
I love
with the Green Goblin. Yeah.
Yep. Sunfire.
That was good. I like the one with Sunfire. I thought that was dope.
Video Man looking like
Man.
That's that right there is my all-time favorite of all the Spider-Man Amazing Friends. Video Man and the one where they met the X-Men. 7 Little Superheroes. Those are my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Favorite 3 episodes.
The prison plot with Magneto is great.
Spidey Goes to Hollywood was good too.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Vengeance of Loki.
Yeah, with Mysterio. Yeah, Mysterio. Yeah. When you look at all look at all the comic book accurate. They had Thor. Thor was on it. Spider-Man's Amazing Friends. Dracula. I don't know why he fought Dracula, but
look, Attack of the Arachnoid. That one scared me when I was little.
Yeah, Zoltan. Remember Zoltan?
Yeah.
Oh, Zoltan. Yeah,
it freaked me out when I was a kid, man.
Zoltan changes into a half man, half spider creature called the Arachnoid.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I love
7 Little Superheroes. That's my favorite one. That and anyone with Video Man.
Yeah, I like the X-Men adventure too. Spider-Man is trying out the X-Men's danger room. Things start to go wrong. You got Iceman is in a lot of Spider-Man stuff too. They had a show. It was just like Spider-Man and Iceman. A couple of episodes, it was just them two.
Yeah.
I thought they had
Yeah,
that
it
was
was,
Spider-Man's Amazing Friends, right? Yeah, that was with Iceman.
yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah, with Iceman and Firestar.
Right, and Firestar. Yep,
Yeah.
that was
Oh, and Miss Lion, and don't forget Miss Lion.
they had the
Miss
secret
Lion.
base in Aunt May's apartment.
Yeah, yeah. Remember Tony Stark hooked that up for them. Tony
Yeah.
Stark gave them all the computers and equipment.
right.
Yep.
Yep.
So it does
Yeah, 'cause-
track Tony Stark to be helping the new Spider-Man in the movies with tech and
Yes,
stuff
sir.
like that. Yeah, because he
Yes,
did that.
sir. Yeah,
We
because
got
you know the
Iron Man.
kids nowadays, because kids nowadays, Spade, they don't think we had computers back then.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
we had computer technology, man. They don't, man, we
We
did the
had the
damn. We had computers. Yeah, we had the internet. They don't
Mhm.
realize we had internet back then. They swear we didn't, but we
Mhm.
did. Try to tell them, man. You just can't tell these newfangled kids now, man. These young Thundercats. Young,
Exactly.
these-
Dude. They don't want to
yeah,
listen, man.
yeah, they don't want to listen. Young Thundercats. We
These
had internet.
Thundercats
Man.
roar.
Yeah, we had dial up, but you could still get online. You know what I mean? Talk to your friends. You could do a lot. Order a pizza. There was a lot you could do.
Yeah. That's what I was telling my son. I was like, y'all have websites. We had catalogs. We had the Sears catalog. We had catalog. We dial up and order some shit. We ordered shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Took a
Remember the
long
East
time
Bay?
to get there, but we had
Oh
it.
yeah, you're gonna wait a month and a half for your shit. But
That's true. Yeah.
But you
Everything
don't
was
get
6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, everything was 6 to
Yeah.
8 weeks.
Yep.
And then we was living, now think about it, we was living in the 90s because it went from 6 to 8 in the 80s to 4 to 6 in the 90s. It's like 4 to 6 weeks. Like, oh,
Yep.
Wow, this one went 4 episodes.
What is this one? I've never seen this one.
This is Marvel Ultimate Comics. Came out in 2016.
What is it?
I was
Motion comic?
excited for it.
Is it a motion comic or
I
anime?
believe it was animated. Because I was excited that they were gonna do a Ultimate Universe show because the Ultimate Universe is some of the best shit. It's great. But this is almost this is motion comic.
Motion comic.
Yeah.
It's me, your best pal, Spidey. Can I call that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's dope. See, I could watch that. I could sit there and watch that and trip out off it.
You like motion comics?
Yeah, I can trip off of motion comics, man. I think they dope.
Extremist was great.
Extremis was the first one I ever watched, and it was one with Black Panther, Wakanda something. I thought they were dope.
Yep, the Wolverine fighting Hulk, where Hulk rips Wolverine in half. That was my favorite. That's my
When that
favorite.
Hulk versus Wolverine?
Yeah.
The animated one, the ultimate one, I mean.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. Did they ever finish that storyline? Because I know for a while something happened with the writers and they stopped writing. And
I never got the comic. Yeah, I never got the comic. I want to get the comic to it.
I have the comics. I have the comics. Yeah, I have them. I know when I went to Wade's, it was telling me something happened with the writers and they stopped mid-writing, writing the joint. And they never, I don't know if they ever picked back up where they left off or whatever. I have no idea. But I'd like to know. I really would. I really would like to know.
You talk about like that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, Spade has them. Yeah.
Yeah,
this is the best.
I got the Black Panther too.
Yeah, the Black Panther was hot.
Yeah, that one was dope.
Yeah, that was dope. And then I got Blade. That's the only one I got.
Ah, nice. Ironically, I found them two for like $1, man.
Get out of here.
I'm serious.
Those are the motion comics? Those are the motion comics or the regular?
Yeah, the motion comics.
Get out of here. Yeah, I'd have bought those too. I'm sorry.
I found these two for like $1 each.
Oh wow. That's Wolverine and Hulk. That's the one I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, let me bust. Hold it up. All right, so yeah, the Hulk, the one that says Wolverine versus Hulk.
That's Ultimate Wolverine versus Hulk.
Ultimate Wolverine versus Hulk is it's dope. You start off with like Wolverine, I think, gets hired by Shield to go find the Hulk because
Yes, he does.
he's
Yes,
been
he
off
does.
doing, whatever the fuck. And so the Hulk, Wolverine's like trudging through the snow because the Hulk's way out somewhere where you can't fuck with him. And he
Yeah, he
finds
tracked
him.
him down.
He
He
tracked him
picked up
down.
his son.
He finds him lamping in this, like, on this throne with all these broads just all over him, just like hanging on him and shit,
Yeah.
on him and shit.
Yeah.
Like chilling with beads and shit. He's just lamping like king shit. And he's got,
Yep.
and Wolverine, he's like, fuck that, I'm not going back. But so Wolverine's like, you coming with me, kind of thing. Like, and he's like, all right, well, if you can move me, and they go at it, they go to fighting, and Hulk ends up just picking Wolverine up and just tearing him half at the waist and just throwing.
Which I don't get, because his whole skeleton is antimanium, and Hulk can't rip antimanium. Nobody can break antimanium.
Hulk can.
Apparently so.
Apparently
Like
so.
Adamantium was always supposed to be the unbreakable.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
I mean, that was when you read like some of Wolverine's origins or whatever, like even when he was with Alpha Flight, they say that's the reason why they lined his skeleton with antimanium to make him more of a lethal weapon. Like, because now, like one of the things he would do to Sabretooth all the time, he would break his spine and paralyze him, and then he was like, oh, I ain't got to fight you now. And so that would, if you paralyze Wolverine, you broke his spine or his leg, he had to wait to heal.
Yeah.
And then he could come back after you. So they did that so that it's like, his skin and all of that comes right back, but his bones, they take a little longer to heal. So that's why they laced his bones with adamantium so they can't be broken.
Yeah, the Hulk just ripped the lower half off. I guess he broke it at the spot where the spine was just the smallest. But
I guess, yeah. Well, I mean, Hulk is strongest there is. I mean, that's it.
Well, let's see. First off, the Wolverine from Earth 1610, the Ultimate Universe, basically was a lot different than the 616 version of Wolverine. The Ultimate Wolverine versus Hulk storyline established that Wolverine's healing factor wasn't merely just a healing factor and was actually about ensuring he survives. Earlier in the story, when Nick Fury had arranged a meeting with Wolverine to hire him to bring down the Hulk, we saw this exchange between the two. So that established that Wolverine was effectively completely unkillable in the Ultimate Universe. Something that, the Ultimatum completely ignored and had Wolverine, one of those killed, another reason why many fans hated it. That's why Nick Fury had wanted Wolverine to be the one to track down and kill the Hulk. He eventually found him in a village in Tibet that led to, him ripping, him in half. As for the direct result of that, firstly, you can see Hulk throwing Wolverine's legs away immediately after ripping him in half, which secondly led to what was seen in So basically, Wolverine climbed 4 miles up to the mountain range by literal dragging half of his severed body up the mountain, half his body. Once there, he'd have had to have arranged his body parts to place them, allow them to stitch themselves back together. So he had to like pull himself together, literally, like pull his legs up to his body and sort of so they touch. And then like that, I guess the healing factor was so potent in the Ultimate Universe that it could just stitch him back together.
Well, we know Deadpool can do it.
Well, Deadpool,
he chop his arm off, he stick it back on and give it a second until
Deadpool can come back with a drop of blood.
Yeah.
He can be one drop of blood left and come back from that. So that's, he's a cartoon. Deadpool's a cartoon. He has ultimate cartoon power. But I want to see, I'm trying to find out how they explain him ripping the adamantium.
You won't.
They do say something about it being unbreakable here, and that's what I saw in the thumbnail. I'm trying to find that part where it says that. How did he do that with adamantium?
I mean, I could see if he just ripped like all the flesh off his bones and it was just antimanium skeleton on top of
Well, after literally pulling himself together, Shield had dropped a nuke on the area to try and take out the Hulk and She-Hulk. She-Hulk was Betty Ross in that universe. Logan then had Forge design a special collar for him, which he planned on using on the Hulk. Then he tracked down the She-Hulk, and they fought, and Wolverine got the upper hand and forced her to reveal where Banner was. He was due to take a flight, so Wolverine got on the plane that Banner was on and sat next to him. He placed the collar on Banner and told him that if he attempted to turn into Hulk, it would choke him to death. Wolverine told Banner he didn't want to kill Banner, but the Hulk, and in turn, Banner told Wolverine that he wouldn't change into the Hulk. He then jumped out of the plane, telling Wolverine that he'd be killing Banner and not the Hulk, which forced Wolverine to jump out after him, and Banner, still refusing to change, left Wolverine no option but to cut the collar off with his claws. After that, Banner changed into the Hulk, and they landed safely with Banner holding onto him. Nick Fury turned up and said that they were both free to go. The Hulk initially grabbed Fury, but Fury revealed that Shield now had Betty in their custody, so suggested against taking any action against him. She wouldn't be killed. Fury left, and it ended with the Hulk and Wolverine talking, and Wolverine asking if the Hulk could do him a favor and drop him off at the nearest town. That pretty much covers everything. And so they did not tell that. What happens if someone cuts Wolverine's head off? Does the body grow out of the head or vice versa? Wolverine cuts his arm off. Does it grow back? How did the fucking Hulk tear the adamantium?
You'll never find it.
How did Hulk rip Wolverine in half with his adamantium skeleton? If its strength is truly intimate and
indestructible.
Yeah, they spelled it
indestructible.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this, Reno. It's like microwaves and non-dairy creamer. Nobody knows exactly how it works.
Oh no, okay. So the Hulk ripped Wolverine in half because in the Ultimate Universe, Earth 1610, where this event took place, adamantium is not unbreakable. Hulk has shown in the Ultimate Universe the capacity to break adamantium at least once prior to this. In Ultimates number 5, Hulk is going on a rampage, and the Avengers are brought in to deal with him. After Cap appears to subdue him, he attempts to inject an antidote to revert him back to Banner. By breaking the adamantium needle, he set the precedent that he can indeed break adamantium in this universe. So, of course, the Weapon X is unleashed to take down the Hulk. Ultimate blah, 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 doesn't go so well, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, simple, easy, basic. It's not unbreakable in the Ultimate Universe. Or
sort of like when Loki stepped outside of all the universes in time, and the Infinity Stones didn't work. Because remember, they had a drawer full of them. They had a drawer full of them. They was like, man, give me that. Yeah, no. Yeah, it doesn't work here.
Yeah. This was a great show, the Silver Surfer one, because the origin of Silver Surfer. Let me see. Yeah, it's a great show because it shows some cool shit like cosmic Marvel shit that you don't get to see anywhere else, right? You got Beta Ray Bill action. Some Uatu.
That's one I never watched. I'll flip through, you flipping through the channels, I would see it. I never really watched the Silver Surfer cartoon. A lot of people said it was dope.
Check it out.
Yeah.
The scholar known as Mentor and his android companion discovered one of these keys.
Who is that? That's Silver Surfer?
Norrin Rad and Drax, his homeboy, his android homeboy Drax.
That's interesting.
Right. That wouldn't happen to be Drax the Destroyer. Huh?
Yeah.
Their joy, however, was short. The beacon was stolen by the notorious space pirate
Nebula.
Mm.
Yeah.
And the two new seekers were left helpless in the void. It was thus that they were encountered by the Silver Surfer.
Oh, okay.
The troll, hoping to learn how to find lost.
The original Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right, because we know the original Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't the ones we see in the movies now.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah, it was Yondu. Yondu he wasn't even a Ravager in the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
The Silver Surfer and his companions reached the ancient home of my people.
The Watchers.
Not
Man,
even
look at the Watchers.
the last remaining watcher know if he will survive.
Mm. Wow.
So did y'all watch that back in the day?
No.
I never watched it. I never caught it. Yeah, I never watched
I
it.
went.
I mean, I
went
knew
back.
about it, but I never watched it.
Well, this was 1998 when it came out. So
Yeah,
I
I knew
wasn't.
about it. I never watched it.
Yeah, I wasn't watching cartoons or anime around this time. This was around my street era, like 95 to like 05. I was in the street. I wasn't doing comic stuff, but
I tried
I
to
went
watch
back
it
to
and I couldn't get into it. And then like next thing I know, our Fox station had pulled it. They didn't air the show anymore.
Yeah, it only ran for one season.
Yeah. But I mean they pulled it like before the season had completed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really, I don't know if they're from low ratings from them or from the boss
Yeah.
or whatever. Like I heard other places had aired it and showed it, but here
Mm.
locally in my area, they didn't show it after like maybe 4 or 5 episodes. It was done.
Well, it's really good if you like cosmic, Marvel, which I love. Cosmic Marvel. It's some of the coolest sci-fi out there. And yeah, Pops, recommendation. I know you love sci-fi. Marvel sci-fi, some of the best. My dad loves sci-fi.
Right.
Kind of he put me onto it. But yeah, it's deep. It's real deep. And this
it
one
is.
goes.
Definitely.
This one you got Galactus and Eternity. So you can see that it's mixed with graphic animation and drawing animation, 2D animation. So you can see where some of it, like this is drawings, obviously, and that's Beta Ray Bill, and then you can see where it becomes, like obviously
Like
this is
Galactus
graphic.
was CGI. Right
Yeah,
there.
that's CGI. Yeah, all that CGI. So that's
Pretty good
Galactus
blend
consuming
though.
a planet. Yeah. Oh. Oh, we got
Is that
Thanos in this.
Galactus?
Yeah, what you mean?
Thanos, Galactus. Yeah.
Yeah. Zach Galactus, where you been at? Where you been looking at?
Yep. This
yeah.
Galactus is not a cloud.
No.
This is
No.
the real deal.
Oh, that Thanos sounds kind of weak.
Together, we can appreciate the truest expression of my love.
What?
Annihilation of everything that is. Annihilation of... Together, we can appreciate the truest expression of my love.
Okay. Well, that's Death. That's Mistress Death.
Uh-huh.
And that's who Thanos is in love with. He's in love with Mistress
I mean,
Death.
they kept it a buck in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, why can't
This
we
is
get
straight-
that out?
Why can't we get that out the movies, man?
Yeah.
can't we get-
What do you say, Stu?
So why can't we get that?
Hollywood
Hollywood ain't that smart. Yeah, they ain't that
Hollywood
smart. Yeah, they ain't that. You're right. Yeah. Dang. Because this look like,
we
you
have
know.
stuff like that in the movies, but they don't want to give stuff to true comic book fans. Like, well, we got to pull everybody in. Like,
Yeah. Well, let them buy all your merch and watch all your movies and
Right.
we do. But they're trying to reach that casual audience, that bigger audience. And so, but I still don't understand why they think they have to make this new shit for this new audience. I get that, you want to make it relevant to the times, but I think they can adapt comic stories from the comics to relevant times, or simply adapt current comics. Like, what are you doing? You got House of X, Powers of X. You got all these great events, of X, Hickman's Avengers. I mean, everything from the Thanos, the Infinity Revelation. I'm looking at you got Realm of Kings. Obviously, you know, I mean, they look, Age of Apocalypse, you know what I'm saying? Miles Morales. There's so much stuff that they could pull from the comics that they just they
They
seem
just don't.
to neglect. Is this the new Hulk or the old Hulk? This is the
The old-
1996.
Yeah.
But you know which one they never show? They never show the one that came out the year of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I think it's called The Incredible Hulk.
I remember that cartoon.
I like that cartoon. That's not
I
on Disney
remember
Plus.
that cartoon.
I can't find that on video nowhere. I don't know what happened to that.
I wonder where why they don't have that on here.
I don't know.
I don't know. You would think that with having Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends and that that other Spider-Man cartoon, the prequel to that, is like you would think they have access to, they were added to the library, so they would have access to it. Maybe the creators or the heirs of the creators just like, we ain't giving up the rights to this or whatever. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Might have it locked away in the vault and just like, no, you're not getting my stuff.
Could be. I know it was dope. I used to love that cartoon. I used to love watching that Hulk cartoon. That was like great, man. He fought the leader.
Yeah.
He fought Absorbing Man. He fought no, he didn't fight Wendigo till the 90s. He used to fight General Ross, Hulkbusters, and that was a good cartoon. I like that.
I remember the intro showing like Dr. Banner like shielding Rick Jones, you know, and then he getting Dr. Banner getting caught up in his jacket and his purple pants. Then you see the eyes kind of like, you know, kind of like the TV show a little bit.
Yep.
And you know, Hulk's out and stuff. And I remember one episode, it was Hulk versus Hulk. Like, I remember watching it. I'm like, that was pretty good. Like, I think the other Hulk might have been like a robot or something, because the original Hulk.
Oh yeah, he was a robot. Yeah, he was a robot. You're right. You're right, Spade. Yeah. Because Hulk's man. Because remember, he was in the episode of Spider-Man's Amazing Friends.
Yep.
But Spidey Goes to Hollywood. Remember, Hulk was in that one.
Yep. Yep, I remember that.
Yep. Yo, I want to find that Hulk, the ultimate Wolverine versus Hulk comics.
Man,
I want to get.
You had to go on eBay. I mean, the comics you can probably get, but the motion comics.
Oh, the DVD. Yeah, I know I can get that on. You can get that. You can get the motion comics. I've seen them shits at pawn shops and shit. You can get them definitely on eBay. The comics you can get, but I'm trying to find like all 1 through 6 together, one lot. Like, I just want to buy all. So I don't want to, because if you buy them individually, you end up paying shipping on each one, and it's just it's a whole lot of extra shit. But honestly, I don't care about having the individual issues. I'd take even like a graphic novel version.
Okay.
But yeah.
Speaking of comics, here's one. Here's one here that you might enjoy.
Blade.
Oh yeah.
This is the original 1990s Blade. You know, we were in the foil. We was in the foil back then.
Yeah,
we were in the foil back then.
Yeah, you know it's gonna have.
But here's some comics that'll blow your mind. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that. That. Zartan.
Zartan in the background. They give out special missions. There's Spade.
Nice.
You gotta be a straight G.I. Joe fan for these.
It's funny because I was like, I always when Marvel had like G.I. Joe and Transformers, you know, back in the day, they never crossed over with anything else.
Nah, they didn't.
Yo, I like that right there.
Destro.
Yeah, I need that. Yeah, special
Yeah.
mission. I got one special mission though.
I got a bunch of them. I got a bunch of special missions. Matter of fact, I actually have some more here, Reno.
This is the one. This is the one with Snake Eyes crawling up the building. That's a key issue right there.
Is it?
Yeah.
We are.
Everything I got Snake Eyes. I like that beachhead. Everything I got Snake Eyes on the cover except for this. A couple of these
Ooh.
unmasked joints. Look at that Cobra Commander.
That's dope.
That's
Unmasked.
dope. Yeah. That's dope. That right there, Reno.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I
It's your
like
boy
that.
Snow Job.
No job. We got Destro and Storm Shadow.
That's Ripcord.
Yep, Ripcord.
Nice.
And this is where they all. This is supposed to be the unmasking of Destro, Snake Eyes, and Cobra Commander.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It's called.
That's one.
It's number 55 called Unmaskings.
Okay.
What's that one? You got Stalker right there. Looks like Leatherneck. Is that Leatherneck? Stalker and
I Stalker back in the day.
yeah.
Before he became a Joe. I don't know who that is. Who that might be his Vietnam days.
This is. I want to say this is their silent. Might be one of the silent issues where there's no talking. Either that or it's the origin of Snake Eyes.
I have
Here's a Snake Eyes one. Here's a Snake Eyes one you have, you know.
Yeah.
And then,
What did you say, Fade?
I said I have a silent issue, but it's newer. It's from IDW.
Yeah.
I got it over here. Hold on.
Oh no, this ain't. Oh, I love this one. This isn't the silent issue. This is the origin of Snake Eyes.
that should be a key issue.
It is. Yeah, this is the origin of Snake Eyes. And I think, see, that's Snake Eyes right there with the bandages all around his face. Coming home from Vietnam. I mean,
he got pulled up in Vietnam.
Yeah,
we went to Nam. We got Agent Orange. Came back.
I'm gonna have to dig for that joint. I couldn't find it right now.
I love this one because it's got Cobra Commander, Hooded Cobra Commander, Storm Shadow, and a Cobra officer with the red mask. You don't see those all the time.
Nah, you don't. Those are the original Cobra Troopers.
Mm-hmm. And then Storm Shadow here.
Yeah, but who's that?
Yeah, who's that? I have a T-shirt of this one. This is my favorite cover. Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, newsstand edition. That's my favorite Joe comic. Like I said, I got the T-shirt and all of that. I like this one. Got some Zartan right there.
Yeah, that's dope.
Quick Kick is Storm Shadow. Kick. Yeah, anything with Storm Shadow, Quick Kick, Snake Eyes, Cobra Commander, Zartan, Destro, those kind of characters on my shit.
Yeah, Scarlet.
Yeah, Snake Eyes jumping out the plane. Assassin. One of these is a silent issue. This is the yearbook of. Man, what? I can't see the year. I think it's like 87 or something. I don't know. But it's the yearbook, and obviously Killer Croc, my dude, right there, and that's the armored Cobra Commander. Remember when he came out with that armor, that futuristic suit?
Yeah, the battle armor.
I had that action figure.
Yeah,
I did too.
Yeah, I had the fake dot. Telling you guys, man, I had every fucking G.I. Joe. Everything they did, I bought. My parents bought, rather. Goddamn aircraft carrier to the goddamn Terror Dome to.
Bro, if you had the aircraft carrier or the Terror Dome, you was lucky, you were.
I was lucky, man. I was lucky that they.
Man, listen, aircraft.
Get the money for that.
If I would have came out of my room on my birthday, Christmas, I don't know, whatever, and that joint was sitting in the living room under the tree or on a table, I'd have passed out.
I passed. I did. I
wouldn't have been good. I wouldn't have been good for about a week.
Because they had it all set up too and shit. They had it all set up in front of the Christmas tree. I don't know if it was a birthday or Christmas. I think it was Christmas. It had to be Christmas. I didn't get shit like that on a birthday, but Yeah, they had it all set up in front of the tree. It was like one of those, like, I don't need nothing else. I don't need nothing else this year. I'm good.
It'd be like
I
that a
mean,
lot.
yeah, I was going to say, how could you want anything else?
It'd be like
After
that
you
a
got
lot.
it, yeah. Listen, you wouldn't have had to get me them for the next 2 years if you bought me the USS Flag. I'd have been like,
That
all
was
right.
like that one year with some
That's about
Transformers. My
that's
parents they
about
got me a
what it
bunch
was.
of Transformers, and I was like, I didn't ask for anything the next year. I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, you don't want
Yeah,
anything? I'm good.
that's all I need.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the same.
The silent issue. They did a couple of them. There is more than one, but I don't know which one of those it is. I'll find out for you though in a second. But
I'm
there
like,
was
if
a
I
couple.
find mine, I'm gonna post it on my Instagram because it is for sale if it's not already on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out real
Okay.
quick and see though. But I did
The
have it
first
on there.
the first one is well, if you
Yeah, I did
do,
have it.
it's G.I. Joe number 21. So if you do have that shit, Spade, let me know because I want first grabs at that sucker.
All right.
Yeah, it's G.I. Joe number
It
21. It's the
the
first
one I
Storm
have
Shadow.
is on my Instagram, but it says it's that like exclusive reprint or something, but it's got Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Well, this one, the original one, is just Snake Eyes climbing up a wall, busting shots, getting shot at. And he's like orange because of the flames and the gunfire stuff shining off his suit. So he's all like yellow and orange. Let me see. Here, I'll show y'all what it looks like. I'll show you what it looks like. Slade. Let me get it saved up over there. Pull it over there. Pop it over here. Bring it over there. Drop that there. Slide that over there. Click that. Let that load. It's a lot of shit. There you go. So that's it. G.I. Joe number 21. That's the first silent issue. There's no words at all, no text bubbles, no narration. It's just pictures. Every panel is just, it's just told by the art, by the panel, the story. So there's no words at all. And it was the first one that they did. But like I said, there are other silent issues. I know there was at least one other one. Turn that off. All right, let me see if they can tell me which other one there was. I know that was that one. And I think the newer one is much more recent. Or the other one is more recent. Like that's the original. And that's also the first appearance of Storm Shadow. So
That's fine.
it's a
You're
cute
gonna,
look.
yeah, you're gonna pay some money for that, but it's worth it if you're a collector. Yeah, if you're a collector, it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I will let you guys know if I find that one. Yeah, but that's the one that you're looking for. When they say the silent issue, that's the one. But there is a newer one from IDW. That's the Marvel one. From IDW, there's one or two other ones. Image Comics has one actually. Image Comics did a GI Joe
Silent issue.
Real American Hero. Yeah, and I think they did it on their issue number 21 as well. So, and then IDW has a silent one. Their GI Joe number 2, issue 2. IDW. Image, they went ahead and did theirs issue 21 as sort of an homage to Marvel's issue 21. Those are both the silent issues. So
Mm.
yeah. So yeah.
How many
So
did they do? How many did they do all together? You know, like 3, 4. That's like 4 or 5 issues, right?
yeah, it's three.
That's
It's
quite a
three.
few.
It's three that I just named. So there's and the G.I. Joe. Let's see. You can get issue 21 of the Image Comics, the silent issue, J. Scott Campbell cover, phenomenal looking cover, and for like $15 on eBay.
That's not bad.
Bad at
I
all.
would get it. Yeah, I would get it. I would get it and slap it, and just to let
Yeah.
everybody know I'm that much of a fan.
Let's see here. Yeah, so this is what the Image one looks like. Clickety clackety. Driggity draggity. Bing bong bing. There we go. So you've got the Marvel version, issue 21, silent issue, and you've got the IDW issue 21, silent issue. You see Storm Shadow jumping at Snake Eyes with the sword. You got looks like Zartan right there with Cobra Commander behind him and some foot soldiers. But I like that. I like that Storm Shadow. I like that costume. It's cool. He's got the cobras on his knees. That's pretty wicked.
If only we could get a classified series one just like that.
That's the silent issue I was telling you about that I got.
That's the other one. That's the one I have. That's the one I have, Spade. There you go. Let me
Okay.
pull that up. Yeah, that's it right there. Yep.
That's dope.
Yep. No, I got that one. Hold on. I hope I still
I gotta go get it.
Like I know I got that one. Hold on.
We'll get that junk. Hold on, man. Let me go see if I got that.
Bam.
Man. Yep.
Yes. So yeah, there you go, guys. That's yet another silent issue. This might be a reprint of the number 2 though that I originally mentioned, because this is an exclusive reprint.
Exclusive reprint, they say.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have either one. That's why I got these. I won these in a silent auction on Free Comic Book Day at Wade's. So going down to Wade's where you can get all of your comic book needs and collectible needs met at the same time.
Yes, sir.
And be cool while you do it.
Wow, it looks like this is issue 21 also. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Oh. Okay. All right. So I'm kind of slow. This is a reprinting of the original Marvel issue 21. So this one,
Facsimile, that's the real.
Yeah, this is a reprinting of that one.
Oh,
and then there's this one from Image Comics. That's a different one. That's their issue 21, but that's a different. I'm assuming it's different. Definitely. Let me see. Here, the Blaylock. Yeah.
Or is it a second print? Or is it a second print? Or no?
Nope. It's different. Because you've got different names of authors and artists and stuff like that. So it's definitely a different comic. So there's 2 silent issues. There's this one from Marvel. There's this one from Image. And what me and Spade have is a reprint of this one from Marvel, from IDW. So this is IDW, but yeah, you open it up. This is the old. It's a reprint of the old G.I. Joe joint or the old Marvel joint. But if you notice, there's no speech bubble
on the inside right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's dope.
You see, just panels, no words. No words in the whole book.
It's my kind of comic, no words.
Right. Yeah, if you're sick of dialogue heavy comics, this is your joint right here. This is your joint. Not a word in the book. But tells a story. Tells a cohesive story.
Well, we have some cool covers to it though.
You're not lost. It's actually, you know why this one's so heavy, Spade. It's got 2 books in it. This has issue 21.
Silent interlude.
right, and then
and
issue
21.5.
21.5, which is
Yep.
Silence Between Borders.
Yep.
So yeah, it's got a issue and an issue and a half, or issue. It's got an issue and a half. But the second one, the 0.5, is still a full-fledged issue. So good question now. All right, so let's see. I don't know. This might be both of these in one. Let me read up. Let me read up. Collected together for the first time in a single comic in 1984, living legend Larry Hama and artist Steve Liliola made a huge noise in the comic book industry with the release of G.I. Joe: A Real American Hero, issue 21, a silent interlude. The classic silent issue featuring the daring exploits of fan favorite Joe, Snake Eyes, and Scarlet, and introducing Cobra's very own deadly ninja, Storm Shadow. In 2008, Larry Hama and artist Jeremy Dale expanded on the timeless G.I. Joe, blah, 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 21.5, Silence of War. Yeah, no, so this is not Hama, Beatty.
That was a completely different issue.
Whole different one. So there are three. There is 21, there's 21.5, and there's IDW's or Images 21 as well. So image number 21, Marvel number 21, and I think they don't say who made 21.5, but could be IDW, could be. So that's the end of. This is where issue 21 ends, and then this is where issue 21.5 picks up and begins.
Yep.
That's dope.
Yeah, you can see the different art. Yeah. So yeah, this is pretty dope. This is a dope one, and you can probably pick this up, guys, for a couple $.
Or if not,
It's worth it.
My Instagram page, I have it for sale. DM my brother.
There you go. Get
There
it
you
for
go.
paid right now.
There's one you can definitely get
Yeah.
right now.
This one's mine.
Reno's not partnering with his. He said he can't do it.
I can part with mine.
Yeah, Spade is a businessman. He said he can let his go.
And look, I've been had to let a lot of shit go here recently, man. I'm like, I gotta sell some books. I'll tell y'all.
I've been struggling to hold on to this one, Spade.
Better doggone hold on to it.
This is one that I will not sell. This is the grail of hip hop comics. This is the grail of hip hop Marvel covers. Is Miles Morales, Spider-Man #1, the Nas Illmatic homage cover.
That is a dope cover. That is a dope cover.
Yeah.
I
There's
should have like 2 or 3 of them at the time.
You bought like 3 of these?
No, I said I should have picked up 2 or 3 of them at the time.
We all
yeah, same thing here. Yeah. I just got one. I just got one for myself and kept it moving.
Spade gonna hit up.
Spade. Appreciate that.
And this is my one other hip hop cover that I won't part with, because this is one of my top 5 hip hop favorite albums of all time. The Purple Tape, aka Cuban Links. Sada Poo.
Hello.
You late? Was you 2 hours late?
I know. I did a hike, so it's been a crazy day, but I'm here.
What'd you do today? What was?
Well, today, yeah, we did a hike. So I'm like hot and like, but
you said you was hiking?
Yeah, we have like a neighborhood trail, like 10-15 minutes out. So we went there and then we did some hiking for a little bit. And then we got something to eat. And I saw you guys were still on. I was like, okay, let me pop through.
Yeah, we were just sort of chopping it up, just
chopping it up.
Yeah,
that's it. Serious biz. What's good?
Expensive paper, Norman. Is expensive.
That is expensive paper. You got that right.
Yeah.
Whole room full of expensive paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Sada, I wanted to ask you about the. Did you read the article
Mhm.
about the fans wanting DC to remove all the LGBTQ references from I think it's Outsiders. What series what are
Yeah,
they
I
up
read
to now?
the article. I think it's a little ridiculous because I like with Young Justice, I think they do a good job. They don't make it the focal point of the character. Like the character isn't wrapped around their identity or their sexuality. Like the references are so minute. I don't even understand why you would want it removed unless you're just like a homophobe. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. So, like I don't get it. Like what's it
Yeah.
called when they have Aqualad with his boyfriend? Like it's not even, it's such a small thing. Who cares? Like that's just me.
LGBT for life. Nah, but you're right, and we just talked about that the other day. Like, if there's a character that happens to be homosexual, cool. Like, who cares? Don't make it the focal point of the story. Don't make it drive the plot. Don't make it a big deal. Just let it be what it is. If you want to bring real, what do they call credit? Real, notoriety, not notoriety, real validity. You want to bring like real
Mhm.
validity and respect to it, let it be subtle because that's what you know what I mean? Like it's like my son was saying the other day, Stranger Things. There's a couple of African American characters, like just literally a couple. It was like and it was like sort of the token black guy of the group. Very 80s trope, right? A group of white friends. There's always one black kid that's
Yep.
one of the, and you're like, you know, but they never mention him. They never mention race in this show, Stranger Things. They never talk about him being black. He never talks about himself being black. It's never brought up. It's never talked about because you know what I'm saying? Like we still there. We're still doing that. Like so we're past that, and I think that's where LGBTQ wants to get. So stop making it the focal point. Stop talking about it so much. Let it just be, and let it just be, part of the story, part of the character. In realistic, that's more realistic. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, way more realistic.
hmm I would garner that most of the complaints are coming from the character Violet because she's kind of, or they have kind of been a vehicle for um, representation on the show. But I feel like they've done a better job this season, like with the storytelling, with them coming into who they are and everything. Versus last season was a little on the nose. So it's still a little ridiculous because like they're barely even focused on. So just
Yeah.
like who cares?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
because Violet's love interest was supposed to be the Baron, and then
Mhm.
she figured out, I don't know, something happened with her. She figured out her past, and then she kissed a girl in school, and then she was
Yeah,
like,
I
"Well, I
totally
don't
missed
know."
that. Totally
Yeah,
missed
yeah,
that. When it,
yeah.
when
She was
when
hanging
when
out with some chick.
yeah,
Yeah, she's hanging
Harper.
out with some chick. And yeah, and the girl kissed her, and then
I
they had
totally
a.
missed
I mean, it was just like they were drinking liquor, and the girl was shooting the gun. Then she kissed her.
yeah.
It was like, yeehaw, shot the gun again, and then I was like, look, it had nothing to do with the episode. I mean, I get it because, like you said, it had nothing to do with the episode. It was just, I don't know. If
Well,
Violet
see,
has any
I
problems,
completely forgot that happened in season 3 because when Harper came up to them like in season 4 and was like, "Oh, you want to talk about it?" I was like, "Talk about what?" Oh, they kissed. What? I just completely missed that whole thing. I was like, "Oh,
Didn't even
okay."
notice.
I was like, "This came out of nowhere. What's going on?" But
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Violet's been such a small focus. It doesn't really matter to me. The season's almost over. Who cares? Get over it.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, everybody. Yeah. Well, because it's. I mean, because we like Young Justice, and everybody,
Right.
we like the way it unfolds, and but I think that it's just lately it's just been too much story. not enough. Where they're just dragging it along. Like,
I can
let's just
understand
get to
that.
right. Like in your older episodes, they got to the point. Like it
Mhm.
was wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Like there was no this long drawn out story, the character, then all the side. Like Reno always says, then you put too many characters in there nobody cares about.
Yeah, I think that was my issue with season 3. It was way too bloated with characters and storytelling. I think they've done a better job this season for me with like kind of condensing it. And a part of that was them splitting it into arcs. Because the season is so drawn out at like 25 episodes, I felt like they did a decent job with that, and it's kind of all coming together within this last arc. And I think this last arc has been really freaking good. But it sort of makes some of the past episodes like, do we need this? Do we really need it? Like, we could have chopped it up, like, So
That's
I
true.
definitely agree a little bit with what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's true.
Sada, didn't want to interrupt you, but your
Oh.
mic is popping, making like popping noises.
It's
Maybe just wiggle it, adjust it. I don't know.
Yeah. Let me
It's like
adjust. I think I hear what you're saying. Let me see. Okay. Let me see.
Do you hear it? It's like,
Yeah, I hear like I heard it
when you
for a second. Yeah.
it's like when you talk or make a noise, it's like crack, 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 pop. Crackle, pop, 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 pop.
Now you sound like a Rice Krispies commercial.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
It sounds like fuzz. It's like maybe like it's a little distortion, little feedback or something like that. I don't know. I just thought maybe if you wiggled it or adjusted it, maybe it's a wiring thing. So it seems like maybe a short or something, but no big deal.
Okay, let me see. I'll try to fix it.
We were talking about video games the other day, and Midnight Suns. Look at that! Don't they look fucking dope?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Wolverine,
gorgeous.
Iron Man. I know, Blade, Ghost Rider. Who is she in the middle? Who is she? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Maybe it's Elektra or something. I don't know.
I'm trying to see. Let me see. Bring it back up.
Oh, okay.
That is.
Let's it back up here. There you go. It's.
I have a symbol.
Let me see. So, wait a minute. You got Blade, Ghost Rider, Iron Man, Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
That's gotta be. Is that the female? No, that can't be. No.
Well,
looking at the swords, is she one of the what's Blade's crew called? Was it the
Night
Blade
Stalkers or some shit like that?
Is that one of the Night Stalkers?
I don't know. It could be Elektra because the Midnight Suns, I believe, originally had Daredevil. So she is the new Daredevil because this is definitely not Johnny Blaze. That's Robbie Reyes. So
that might be Elektra. That might be Elektra because she looks.
That's
Spanish.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Elektra is Daredevil now in the comics. So for that to be Elektra makes perfect sense because, like I said, I think the original Midnight Suns, it's Daredevil. So Elektra is now Daredevil in the comics. She took over the mantle and is currently Daredevil. But last summer, Firaxis revealed Marvel's Midnight Suns, their new XCOM style strategy game featuring some of the edgier characters from Marvel. Unfortunately, the reaction wasn't as positive as it could have been. While the basic strategy gameplay looks solid, fans were really skeptical about a mechanic where abilities are tied to randomized cards doled out at the beginning of the battle. Firaxis was quick to clarify that Midnight Suns won't feature microtransactions that would allow you to, say, buy better cards, but some observers still weren't thrilled with the system. Well, according to a report from wanton leaker Tom Henderson, Marvel's Midnight Suns has gone through a huge revamp that likely resulted in the game's delay to the latter half of 2022. Henderson isn't entirely clear on what the revamp was, but he speculates it was indeed related to the game's randomized card mechanic that everybody was kind of pissed about. And Midnight Suns was recently rated in Korea, and Henderson expects the game to be re-revealed at the Summer Game Fest kickoff show June 9th. Of course, take this with a grain of salt for now, but hold on, let me get that picture off the screen. But you get I think it's gonna be Nico Minoru is the female.
I
Nico.
was gonna say I looked up the roster just now, and it's on the gameplay. It says players will take the role of the Hunter, a customizable superhero created for the game by Firaxis Games in collaboration with Marvel. The playable roster includes Iron Man, Captain America, Wolverine, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Blade, Ghost Rider, Magic, and Nico Minoru. The
So
Hunter
that's
can be male or female and is customized in appearance. So it could be a customizable character.
Norman
oh,
Rad said it's from the TV show Runaways.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
He said it's Nico Minoru from Runaways.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, or like Spade said, it could be the character that you create, the playable character.
Your character, your playable character.
Right. Your Marvel adventure, you become the Hunter, the first customizable original hero in the Marvel universe. Lead a legendary collection of heroes that span across the Avengers, X-Men, Runaways, and more as you customize your team, tailor your selection of your abilities to suit your play style, and unlock iconic outfits that will delight any Marvel fan. Sounds dope. I'm not a big strategy game guy, but I've had fun with strategy games in the past. Like I don't like crave the next strategy game or anything. They're kind of I don't want to say boring because you get into them and then they become like super addictive.
Oh yeah.
But they're not
think.
hack and slash action games.
Nah, I know
But
people.
yeah,
I know guys
Spade,
I game with. Yeah, I know
you make
guys I game with. They throw some money. There was a game Marvel had out, and everybody was going crazy, and then they just pulled it. They pulled it. They shut it down. I mean, I know people was dumping. Like, one guy I played with on PlayStation, he dumped like $100 into that piece. He was like, man, look, loved it.
yeah, bro. Yeah, I know people spend thousands on like Diablo 3 and shit.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Some people, some people get into it, man. But
yeah, and then that's how they get you. They get you with the microtransactions, and then they get you addicted to these little phone games, and you just start dumping money into it. It's funny, man. But it says explore the darker side of Marvel, rise up against the demonic forces of Lilith, and experience an immersive, personal story that brings familiar heroes to an unfamiliar world. Filled with the supernatural and the mystical, the stakes are higher than ever as you face off against fallen versions of iconic Marvel characters and attempt to stop Lilith from reviving her evil master, Chthon. And that's dope. That's cool shit from Doctor Strange, the multiverse type stuff, all the sort of mystical magic Marvel stuff. And it says live among the legends, see heroes in a new light, and unlock abilities as you develop relationships and strengthen personal bonds outside the field of battle with some of your favorite Marvel superheroes such as Iron Man, Wolverine, and Captain America. Dive deep and explore the Abbey, your very own mystical secret base, as you explore the grounds and uncover its hidden mysteries. So this doesn't sound like the typical strategy game where it's just like, here's your army and send your army there, or do you send it here, and what do you know what I mean? Like they're making it seem like there's some personal exploration, like some campaign stuff, someone, you know what I mean? But it says fight and think like a superhero. Team up with your fellow heroes, assess the tactical battlefield, and strategically launch devastating, iconic attacks against the forces of darkness. From the creators of the critically acclaimed tactical XCOM series comes a new, engaging, and deeply customizable battle system that rewards clever thinking with superhero flair. Stu, what do you know about XCOM?
XCOM is a turn-based game.
Okay.
Set like in the 1960s. It's like an alien invasion type joint where it's like a secret service. It's hard to explain. It's like the long trench coat guys against the aliens and
Men in Black stuff.
It's along that
Like,
lines,
yeah.
right? And then it's very turn based. You take a turn.
Mhm.
There is no action, no running around, no Grand Theft Auto, free run, free
Mhm.
reign, all of that. No. They get a turn, you get a turn. They get a turn, you get a turn. Even when you move, and it's like blocks, like you move up like blocks. But turn-based games are very, 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 very popular. I
Yeah,
mean,
and it's
uh,
super addictive.
I mean, and it would be, in my opinion, I can see Marvel trying to cash in on that because people that play turn-based games are they're into them, bro. Like when I say they're into them, they're into them. Yeah, see, I spent 5K on a Marvel, contest with champions
Oh
mobile.
Jesus!
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, and they have tournaments for like $1 million plus for turn-based games.
Wow.
I'm not in the turn-based games. I don't have the patience for that. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I like turn-based stuff like Final Fantasy was always dope.
That was different. No, that's nothing like XCOM. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. That
Mm.
when you are at least when you play Final Fantasy, like the very first, like 7, you would the character would run around. You would go to different parts and
Yeah, it's
you would
when you get
stop.
into a fight, it's turn-based fighting.
Yeah, the fighting was turn based, but
Yeah.
when the whole game is turn based, like everything you do, no,
Mhm.
I don't. I'm not even gonna
Nah,
lie. I don't have the patience for it, and I'm not dissing it.
that's
Not
what I'm
saying it's the
saying.
worst. Right.
Right.
I'm not talking bad about it. I don't want anybody, like, oh, stupid talking. No, it's just I don't have the patience for it. But I've seen people play it. I've watched videos. I sat and watched videos because I was trying to figure out. I was like, what is it they love about this so much? Like there are contests in Korea, $1 million plus, $2 million, $3 million. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
StarCraft. StarCraft's another
Oh
turn-based
yeah,
game
that's a
that's
big one.
hugely popular.
Well,
Wildly.
these are strategy games. And like I'm surprised at how many freaking games XCOM has. They came out in 94 with DOS, Amiga, CD32, PlayStation, and Windows games. And then they came out in 95 with another game, Terror from the Deep, 97, XCOM Apocalypse, 98, XCOM Interceptor, 1999, XCOM First Alien Invasion, 2001, XCOM Enforcer, uh, XCOM Genesis unreleased, XCOM Alliance unreleased, XCOM Enemy Unknown 2012, 2013, The Bureau, XCOM Declassified, 2013, Enemy Within, 2016, XCOM 2. That's funny.
Yeah.
2017, XCOM 2, War of the Chosen, and
Don't
2020,
forget, don't
XCOM
forget
Chimera
Enemy
Squadron.
Unknown. Don't forget
God,
Enemy Unknown. Yeah, Enemy Unknown. Listen,
yeah.
they got
Enemy
it.
Unknown was 2012.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
all I
said
can
that
say,
one.
Reno, is they got it. Because I'm not, listen, I've never been into turn-based games. I don't have the patience or the
Yeah,
cash flow.
strategy games.
Oh,
My
Or
thing. Yeah.
the cash flow to
Definitely
dump
cash
into,
flow.
right, to dump into a turn-based. I mean, bro, I know people build whole PCs. They go out and buy special
Mhm.
keyboards,
Yeah.
mice, uh, and
Yep.
they just to play the game, right? Like
yeah.
to give them
It's
an
serious.
edge, yeah, to make them faster. Putting in the commands, right? It definitely
Oh, I know,
look at
Norrin. I know.
But yeah,
Contest
Contest of Champions is huge. Yeah.
yes.
yeah,
That
And has
roster
a
yeah,
is
that
big
is
huge.
roster.
easy, man. Yeah,
What up, Diamond?
I
Shiner, what's
mean,
up?
She left us. She
yeah,
left us to mod for DJ Tiger on Full Blast.
okay, yeah,
That's why that's
that's
why she
just
ain't been around so much. But we still love you, and you still welcome here anytime. And you a mod here, actually. I made you a moderator up here.
yeah,
But yeah.
but yeah, but for Marvel to try to jump on a cash cow. Plus, a lot of video game studios want a game that they can keep going for years. Like
Mhm.
when they came out with Destiny and World of Warcraft, uh, people were like, "Whoa!" Like there's a game that people just keep playing year after year. And that's just what it is. So now everybody's trying to get a game that they can get everybody addicted to, and all they have to do is just keep coming out with content, and people just keep
Yep.
buying it.
Yes.
similar to DC Universe Online, but you're kind
Yeah.
of struggling over there. But it's the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah, I used to play that hard.
yeah,
I
me
played that
too.
hard for a minute.
That's still up there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
I
But
remember
you
when
know
that
what?
came
A
out.
lot of people. But you know what? DC Online left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths, and Sony dropped the
Mm-hmm.
ball big time on that one
They
because
did.
it
I like
came out. It was a
you could
monthly
create your
subscription
own
to play it,
character.
and we were playing it, and then you can get a life. I think you can get a month. I think like 6 months, and then a year or three. No, it was a month, 3 months, 6 months, and then something like that. It was a crazy combination, but you had flexibility in what you could get. And then they had a lifetime membership for like $99. And I know guys that bought it. They literally bought the
Yeah.
$99 lifetime
Yeah.
membership. And then Sony turned around and made it free to play.
Yes, they
So
Yep.
did.
now,
That's when we got
yeah,
on.
Yeah,
That's when we
Yeah.
got on.
Right.
yeah. So everybody was like, "Oh, I just paid $99." And if you did that
Ooh.
like a week before and they gave no announcement, like there was no, "Oh, we're gonna
And
make
no
this free to
refunds.
play." Yeah,
Sickening.
it just yeah. So let's say if a week before that, Spade go in there, he said, "Man, I'm gonna get the $99 joint because I'm gonna be killing it."
Bro,
And then a week later, he come home from work, he ready to play. They say it's free to play.
I would have been hurt. I would
Yeah,
have
I'll be
been
ready to
hurt.
fire a rocket.
I would have been
Somebody would got
hollering.
a rocket fired at their headquarters. I don't know.
Man, B, I would have been pissed. Y'all owe
Yeah.
me
yeah, I'm
a
gonna tell
game.
you what pissed me off about the DC Online is like it's kind of like what Stu said, but I went ahead when I got my PS3 and bought the game,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
and my homeboy told me like, you played it yet? I said, nah, man, I can't. Like, I pop it in and play it, whatever. Like, you gotta hook it up to the internet and all this other yada yada. I'm like, what the hell? I said,
Yeah.
dude, I came from air. You pop games in and play it, not download shit.
That's when they started doing that shit. I
Yeah.
remember buying
So they got me. So yeah, I was real pissed off about that.
yeah, Titanfall. That's when they started putting out games that you had to be online. And
Mm-hmm.
at that time, everybody had the internet. Some people
Right.
just didn't have it. They just had their Xbox, but they made games that you literally could not play without the internet. And at first I was like, that's fucked up. Like, and I thought it was, a horrible idea, but now that pretty much everybody has the internet,
Yeah,
it makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
And I guess they had the foresight to know that eventually, everybody would have it. It wouldn't be so crazy. But when they started, yeah, it was like really? That's kind of fucked up.
I think the worst decision they made was when they shut down the PS3 servers because I mean that's when it was popping. Like everybody was playing that game on the PS3 and not a lot of people had the PS4 at that time, even now. So
yeah, because
like,
they pushed it over to P4. Yeah,
yeah,
they
and they
pushed the
cut
server
off
to
a
P4,
huge
yeah.
chunk of their player base. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Well, remember they had different servers in there. Remember when they
Yeah.
merged all the servers? That was a
Mhm.
pain too. 'Cause
that
it
was
like,
horrid.
man, you like, oh man, they merged
Wasn't
all the
DC
servers.
Online? Wasn't that the game where you could make your own superhero
Yep.
Or super villain.
or
Yep.
supervillain? Right? Yeah, yeah. I think I got on there and yeah, I made my character, but I don't like playing with keyboard and mouse. That kind of game.
Oh yeah,
The only
you could do console or the PC, but yeah.
See, I didn't have that. I just saw it and I just thought it was an online PC only game, and
Mhm.
I don't game with a mouse and keyboard unless I'm playing like certain first person shooters. It's good, but third person action game, it's a pain in the ass. You're trying to
It's
figure
not.
out.
It's definitely better for console.
Yeah, you got to play with this. I got to play with the stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I need sticks. Yeah, I can't. I know guys do it. I've seen.
Oof, I don't know how.
I probably if I had to, I probably could, but I don't know how they do it.
I just hook my shit up to the PC. So any PC game I'm playing, I play with my Xbox One controller. My son, he got the PS5 controller, but he plays it with his PC. He was like, Dad, I want to get the PS5 controller. I'm like, this shit's $100. What you want that for? You ain't got a PS5.
Well,
I said, you got a
controller.
You got Xbox One. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, no, we got the PC now. I'm like, yeah, but what? So I was like, okay, well, so yeah,
you bought him you should have gone on 8BitO's website and get him an 8BitO.
What's that?
It's a controller for It can go. It can as long as you got Bluetooth, it can go with anything.
Is
So,
it dope? Is it good as like a PS5?
hell yeah, Hang on, I got one. I'll show it to you. I got an 8-bit. I got a couple of them.
Eight
That's only because 8-bit.
bito.
You can get like, let's say if you like, I play a lot of retro games, so you can get like
I
games
don't
like
like that.
hold on.
It looks like a Sega Genesis or a Super Nintendo controller. Come on, Stu. You trying to
Nah, this nope. Controls the bomb. Controls the bomb. Stop.
let me see. You trying to make me?
Controls the bomb.
You trying to make me play with a Sega Genesis?
No, sir.
Sega
No. They have Sega Genesis ones.
Yeah.
They got Nintendo
Oh, that's the
ones.
PS.
They got
That's
Sega
the
Genesis.
PlayStation joint.
This is the 8-bit Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can get this and play with this.
See,
and it doesn't cost as much as a PlayStation controller, but it works just the same. Layout's the same.
Yeah.
Everything. You got the two bumper buttons up top.
Well, he better like that
PlayStation
PlayStation
joysticks. And then you got the clickers, you know.
Yeah. I got in the PS5 joint, but I am an Xbox. You see the difference? Look, okay, so you see how your controller got the two joysticks down here, and then it got the D-pad up here.
Right.
But I've been used to Xbox. I wasn't used to PlayStation. So the way I
no, 8-bit makes one. 8-bit makes one like that too. They make one like that too.
But what I'm saying is, I rock with the Xbox joint, and he liked the PlayStation joint. So we just use our because I already had the Xbox One controller because I got the Xbox One and bought him the PS5 controller. So we good. But you know what I really want? I want that Xbox One or that new Xbox, that dope one, that like $150 Pro joint. It's got like metal buttons and shit.
You want the Pro? You want the Pro controller?
Yeah.
You want to shell out some cash. You want the carrying case. Yeah, that joint come with a carrying case, man. You can straight up just carry that joint. You know, you a professional when you got that. You walk in, take it out the case. It comes with its own case, extra buttons, knobs, and everything.
Elite. That's what it's called, the Elite.
Yeah, the Elite joint. Yeah, you want that Elite.
Yeah.
Nah, man, that's too rich for my blood.
Better be like a Captain
that joint,
Game Master.
That joint is like 200. I think it's like 200 something bucks for that joint.
No, it's like $125.
Yeah, that's down. That's down from what? That's down. You must call it sale because it's Memorial Day. That joint is up there, bro. That joint ain't cheap.
Xbox Elite wireless controller Series 2, $124 at GameStop right now.
That's a lot of money for a controller, man.
It is.
Oh, man.
It is, but it's
man,
worth
you can sit here. You can sit here and debate. You can sit here and tell me it's 124, 122. Once you get over 50, 60 bucks, all right, that's.
You say no more. I'm good.
Yeah, no more than 60 bucks, and I'll pay that depending on the color. I'll be like, all right,
yeah, if it's a good color,
yeah, I might go up an extra $10.
Let me give you my. Well, so my sort of theory on it is
that new or used? Because that's GameStop.
That's GameStop. It might be
refurbished. Is that new or used?
It might be refurbished.
Those joints is up there, man.
Yep, refurbished.
Oh yeah. Rena, them joints up there, bro. Like I said, they like. Last I checked, it was up in like the $200 range. Man.
Oh,
yeah, I'm paying $125.
That's what I need. I'm telling you, I'm a straight hardcore gamer. I'm telling you,
I want refurbished.
Yeah.
So it's dope.
Hey, listen, if it work, if it's guaranteed and it work and it floats your boat,
look at that.
I don't discourage anybody from buying.
Look at that bad motherfucker. You got the bumpers and the things, and then down here you got 4 back paddles. You got these little switches right here that do some shit. I don't know what.
Probably dim the light or whatever.
But look, you got the rubber. You got the rubber grip, the metal D-pad. It's a beautiful stick, and it's heavy too. It's heavy. I've held them. They're real heavy.
All that stuff on there. Shoot.
Yeah, they got like a metal.
Yeah,
like a metal thing.
Oh well, Reno, punch up the limited edition joints because they got a Star Wars one. And you a big Star Wars fan, sir? Punch that joint up.
Well, let me get my food.
They got the Razor limited edition joints. They got all kind, man. You can listen. You can get down on one of those controllers, but they cost money. They're a little too rich for my blood. You know, we talking like 200 plus. on the
Here you
controller,
go.
man.
149. Here's one 179.
That can't be new. That can't be new, bro. A
Yeah, it's new.
brand
It's a
new
razor. It's a razor. That's why it's razor.
a brand new Xbox Elite wireless. Matter of fact, computer.
Yeah, I don't know why people buy brand new when you can get refurbished. Fuck that. Refurbished all day. You can still get the same 2-year warranty on the refurbished that you can on a new one. So it's good to me.
Man, them joints is like 250. You know what
Yeah, I don't know. Now,
I know
the
you
only
can get them. I know you can
I
probably
only
get them for
ever
a little cheaper than that. But I know
yeah,
brand new. I never seen them for under 200. Brand new,
they
like,
always were like 150 around my way.
oh, I need to come around there. I get one. I can get one for that
Yeah,
price. I could probably rock with that.
because
But
200, 250, nah, I never saw that.
I did a few times, bro.
Never
I
saw that.
did. Scroll up a little bit. Let me see what you got there. Scroll up. What you got there?
Let me see.
You got a whole bunch of them. Yeah, look at those prices right there.
What
And
prices?
scroll down. Scroll down. You got price. You got prices. No, scroll down. Let me check. Okay, 69, 179. Yeah, that's a regular Xbox controller.
Here, this is the Elite. Here's the Elite at Best Buy, 179
That's got to be on sale.
on sale. I should always be on sale at fucking Best Buy. Let me see. Let me see if I can find the
That's
$200.
99. That's 99. That's
All right, here's the $200 one. It's Series 2. Let me see if they got
219. That joint is 219.
219. It's got some items with it though. It comes with
Yeah,
these
they come with extra pads and all that. They come with extra like
pads,
triggers
yeah.
at the bottom. It comes with extra
I don't
triggers
need
and
all
all
that.
that.
I don't
That's
need
what I was
all
telling
that.
you
I
earlier.
just need
It
the
come with
one.
the case. Oh, you just want the control.
Yeah, I don't need the extra thumb pads and shit for what? This right here, 179. This is the real. This is the
Well,
full.
because it
shit.
you might need those extra thumb pads.
I don't need.
It might be more comfortable. You might use the shorter joint, and it might be more comfortable for you.
Sometimes they go by size.
Nah, I'm good with this one.
You might got small hands like Donald Trump, so you need the smaller
little
smaller
Trump hand.
paddles. You know what I mean?
Might
Yeah,
need
little
little.
Trump hands. So you might need
Yeah.
the smaller
I
paddles.
mean,
I don't know.
somebody need them. Somebody
Somebody
need
need
them.
them.
Here they are.
Right. So
But I don't.
like when you buy headphones, they come with the extra ear joints to fit your
Yeah,
ear
we're
better.
all kind of different sizes.
That's all it is. Yeah, they want to make sure they want to make sure everybody can fit it in their hands. That's all.
Right. That's all it is. But like I said, man, that's if you want to pay extra for that. 179. I'm in there, and my justification is that I'm not buying the console. I'm just buying the controller, so I can spend
For $170 some dollars.
Yeah,
That's got to be used. That listen, 200. We just found one 219. Like I said, I've never seen one under 200
with extra shit. 179 is what we found for the.
But like, no, that's crazy.
But Sada, we gamers though.
That's true, and I get it.
Yeah,
I get it, but you know.
Speaking of gamers, did you get the stuff I sent you for Unreal Engine 5?
Yeah, amazing. Unreal Engine 5. Woo.
Yeah, what I tell you, I told you I was like, listen, I'm not paying for a port when I can get that. So my PlayStation and my Xbox can do that. Unreal Engine 5 is free. You can actually go on Reno and make a bunch of stuff. You can make
it's a bunch of people on YouTube.
Everything.
They got people with whole YouTube channels just about their Unreal Engine 5 creations.
Oh
and they do some amazing shit. But when our game producers
next year. That's why everything got pushed back to next year. Because once that engine came out, everybody was like, well, why are we going to port that? Right. Why are we going to port the game from Unreal Engine 4? You know what I mean? And put it on PlayStation. We know PlayStation 5 can run Unreal Engine 4. PlayStation 4 can't run Unreal Engine 5. We know that. So we just going to go with 5 and 5, and we're going to keep it moving. And that's what they should do. I mean, that's what it was made for. It was made to push the boundaries of all the new hardware that we have and not bring out games on last-gen hardware that look like last-gen games.
Right.
You know,
Spade, what games you be playing? Do you got a system or console or you be?
I don't really play games that much because I'm like, yeah, ain't really a whole lot. I'm out of my gamer stage now. I'm strictly like comic book. Like my PlayStations are used more for DVDs, watching DVDs.
That makes sense.
But like I do have I got both Injustices on
Yeah,
either
me too.
PlayStation and the Spider-Man and Miles Morales Spider-Man games on PS4.
Oh, those are dope.
So
Those
those
are
are all
dope.
the ones I really
Those are
play.
great
I was
games.
gonna ask you though, like far as for 170 or 120, whatever for a controller, what book would you spend that on if you didn't get a controller? What book would you spend that on?
Like probably like a first appearance of Cable, maybe. But the thing, I feel what you're saying, man, and but honestly, if I had the money to buy a controller for that much at the moment, then I would have the money. You know what I'm saying? Like I would probably buy the controller before I would buy a comic book because of the fact that I'm gonna get a lot out of this controller.
Yeah.
Once I buy that book, I got it. I look at it. I stick it in the box, and like what now? So I really only invest in comics when I've really got real extra money. You know, for like, extra money, like comics. My biggest books that I have were either gifted to me or I traded for them or whatever. So yeah, I generally like if I'm spending a lot of money on comics, it means I got a lot of extra cash lying around. But I'll buy like $20 books here and there, $20-$30 books, maybe like that. But if I'm buying $100 something, $200 something comic, I'm flush with cash. Like I'm doing real well at the moment.
I definitely do like a lot, like how you do on Instagram. I would do that. That's probably how I would do it.
Spade, I be plotting. I'll be plotting. I'll be like, let me see. I go down to Wade's and I'll be like, where you got that on the wall? And I come back like a week later, maybe even the same. Oh, it depends. Maybe the same day. I'll be like, yo, let me see that. I'll be like, I'll take that. I'll take that. But normally, if I spend a lot on the comic, it's something I want. It's definitely something I want. Yeah, like just hands down. Like this is something I want.
Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice.
That would be yes, it will.
That's a
coming
great
out
game.
and that's coming this year. And that's the crazy part because a lot of people canceled their projects to just make it just to use Unreal Engine 5 or push their projects like.
It's have you played? Because this is the sequel to the first Hellblade, and
the first one was dope.
The first one was dope. It was heavily based on the graphics. It's all about the looks of it. Like the gameplay itself, the mechanics was not the focus. Like the focus was definitely the cinematic, the way it looked, and so it makes sense for them to. They shouldn't. It would be dumb of them to make another game without using 5. Because it's all about.
Like I said, once the new every system, every generation of a system, we get an Unreal Engine. So like since PlayStation 2, we've been getting different Unreal Engines.
I remember the first one.
So we got Unreal Engine 1, but there was like for PC, and we got I think Unreal Engine 2 or 3 was the first one that they did. It was Unreal Engine 3. It might have been 2, but it was the first one that they did that a console could handle it. Like the developers were like, look, we need to make this universe for everything. And if you got stronger hardware, you get better results. And they did that. And they got that idea from Android. Because remember when Android came out, they would put their OSs on phones and then phones just couldn't handle them. And you get a phone, it'd be moving real slow. The Android was like, hold up, let's just make it universal for everything. So now you just got to make your hardware match our software. Because we're not going to make our software match your hardware. And that's what people started doing. So when you got Unreal Engine 5, 4, and 3, when they came out, and they did, and you can go on YouTube right now, you can punch up the demos for the different ones, and you can see the graphical jumps that they made when they do the little demos. But when they actually started catering them to consoles instead of just PCs, oh, that changed the game because now gamers like, whoa, like, we're getting this. You know, you see Mortal Kombat, you like, whoa, look at this, or Batman, you know, Arkham Knights, because PlayStation 4, we weren't getting 4K graphics, but we should have been getting 4K graphics on P4. We just weren't. And
Well,
then
PlayStation 2, I remember on PlayStation 2 when Unreal Tournament came out. Like I remember that, and that was Unreal Engine 1, and that was 1999.
right,
Remember that
right.
Unreal Tournament?
I remember Unreal
And
Tournament,
yeah, so that was it. That was
and
like the
people went
name of
crazy over that game. I never got into it, but
it. It was all right. Yeah, it wasn't all that. It was all right.
people, you know, people was crazy. Brandon, you had guys that was crazy over that, man.
Yeah, but it was on
You
Dreamcast. It was on PS2. And then of course, like your Windows and Linux and Mac and all
yeah.
that shit. But it hit
Well,
console.
because it was originally built for the PC, and then
Mm-hmm.
they just bought it. They put it. They made, you know, they hooked it up so you can, you know, they made some tweaks. But when they made the tweaks, you had separate entities of it, and then everything moving forward was just, here it is. You can run this on this. You can run the same thing on everything. But basically, the stronger your hardware, the better results you get.
Yeah.
And that was the smartest thing they ever did. When they did that, that just opened the envelope, because by the time we got the PlayStation 3, I mean, it was like, man, we were like, man, we got some good graphics. We got some good
Mhm.
games,
Yeah.
especially Mortal Kombat. Especially Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Heavy story driven. Oh, that talking about Hellblade. Yeah, it's very story driven. Yeah.
Hellblade was dope. Spade, don't blow the
Struggle
dust
someone
off your
dealing with
PlayStation
mental
and play
issues.
that, Spade. You're gonna be
Do
hooked.
what?
I said, don't blow the dust off your PlayStation and play that, because you're gonna be hooked.
Oh, I need to get back on the PS4. Speaking of, it's been so long.
Yeah, you're gonna be messed up in the game, Spade. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Mm-mm.
I want to
Yeah,
see
don't
what
do it.
all other like cool ass superhero games coming out too.
Matter of fact, I don't know if you could pull it up, Reno. Someone did a Spider-Man on Unreal Engine 5 and a Superman game. They're not
Yeah.
finished, but the early iterations of those games, for somebody that didn't have a development team, they just put it up there. Bro, it looks amazing.
They look great. Yeah. Well, I
They
mean,
look
we've
great.
been looking. We've been waiting for a real good Superman game because
Yeah, we don't have too many
Yeah,
of
we'll
them.
never get it. Yeah, we'll never get it. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
never get it. Don't even
never
get
get
your
a
hopes up.
sequel. We'll never get a game.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up high. We're not gonna get it. We're just
you don't think the Unreal Engine 5 Superman will manifest in anything?
it's not the engine. It's the developers. It's, can somebody
No, I
make
know
a
what I'm
decent
saying.
Superman game that I want to
You don't.
play?
Yeah.
Yeah, can somebody make a Superman game I want to play?
I
Like,
think so. I think the Unreal Engine 5 tells us that.
If like what was it, Rocksteady, whoever made the Arkham games, and everybody kind of loved them, and I'm like, I'm a
that was
huge Superman
Rockstar.
fan, and I love.
Oh, that's the bar. That's
Yeah.
the bar right
So
there.
it's like
If
I
you're a
think.
game,
Go ahead,
What are you
Sue.
saying, Spade?
no, if your game don't play like Batman or Spider-Man, Miles
Oop.
Morales, you can hang it up, bro.
Like,
That's the Batman pushed the bar for superhero games.
yeah.
Like that's the bar. You can only go above that. You can't go below. Even the first
Insomniac
Batman
came
game,
in.
yeah, you can't go below the first Bat. You got to go Batman or higher. You got to go. That's where you got. Because remember, Deadpool had a game, and that was a tight game. That was
Oh
super
yeah,
tight.
they did.
Wait,
Yeah,
but
people
Spade, what
forget
were
about
you
it.
saying though?
I'm gonna say like it is possible you can actually make a Superman game that people will want to play, but like anything else, it has to have a good story to it.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
the
Like,
problem.
that's the prime issue.
And I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, well, people are like, well, you can't make them too weak. You can't make them like you make them just like you do in a cartoon, like
Yeah.
far as for his vulnerabilities and strengths. You know, he might, do something to get strong over time, but you have your your villains. You know, you pick your list of villains that you want them to physically fight.
Yeah.
And you
'Cause
know,
it
like I
was
said,
all about you could fly around and do shit, but it's like,
yeah,
why am I doing it?
Right.
right. Because there was a game like that was like that's all he did was fly around, but like he didn't really do a whole lot. And I'm
Hey, you
It
like,
was
like
just
fly
it was the
through
three.
ring.
It was
mhm,
it was the it
Yeah.
was
Oh,
the
that was horrid.
N64, the
Yeah.
Nintendo 64 Superman
Yep.
game, and it was
Superman.
horrible. It was
Horrible.
horrible.
Horrid.
It
Mhm.
was just listen. I don't even want to talk about it. It's the game that cannot be mentioned.
Well, let's
That's
see.
that's
Let's see where we're at now with it. Check this out. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
yeah,
You give me a nice story, you know, where I can, you know, have fun as walking around the town, maybe as Clark Kent or maybe as Superman, but stuff to do. You know, just take a page from Spider-Man because the Sony Spider-Man games,
Oh,
phenomenal, phenomenal.
Insomniac
So
did their thing with both of those games. Oh my
absolutely,
god.
absolutely.
yeah.
Even the brand new one they got coming, the Miles Morales joint, like they killed it. So if they gave us a game at that magnitude, story wise, and all of that with Superman, bro, I'd tear that shit up, bro. I'll be all over it. Spade,
For
I know
sure.
that'd be your favorite shit.
For sure. You know what I mean? Because I'm like I said, I love the Injustice games. I love playing them. The storylines were, you know, the storyboards on those were great. Graphics were
Mhm.
great. You know, gameplay was just great. I'm like, I don't have anything bad to say about them. Like, I completed both of them games in about 2 days because I just got hooked and just played them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, man,
Injustice will have you hooked.
yeah. And I was like, yo, man, this is really, really cool. And, you know, it allowed you to play other characters. And I think with a proper Superman game like that, people may have a lot more or different view and different respect for Superman than what they do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If they don't do the evil Superman trope, I think
Right,
that's a great start. Yeah.
right. And
You
like I
don't
said,
like
you could
evil
do
Superman?
No, I'm sick of it. It was
even
fine
Superman
for
cool, but it's like it's
Injustice.
done. They do it all
Yeah,
the
you
time.
know, like it's done. Like
What about
you
Black
get it.
Suit Superman? Is
Oh
that
yeah, that's cool.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I
I
like
would
Black.
have him fighting like different villains instead of like Luthor being the boss or Zod. He might fight like
Right.
Brainiac or Mongol or something like that.
Or
Yeah.
Dark Side.
Yeah, or
I would
yeah,
love
that
to
would be
see him
perfect.
fight Mongol in the game.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be
Yeah, like
cool.
all the bosses they could have. Stu, you
Mhm.
talking to us?
Yeah, wait, are you talking? Because you're muted.
Yeah,
How
but
about
we
he
can't
just
hear you.
how about he just
There you
fight
go.
Metallo?
Yeah, Metallo's a great boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Well, that
and
Unreal that
those are
game,
characters that you could put into a movie too, man. Like he
yeah,
ain't got to
Yeah.
just
why not
fight
do it?
God or Luthor all the time. Like give
Right.
him
Yeah.
Metallo, give him Mongol. You know he got a Rose Gallery as well.
Right. You could easily
Yeah.
build to Luthor because he could just be in the
Parasite. You can give him
background.
Parasite.
Parasite.
Yeah, Parasite.
Yeah, that's a real good one.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
Cause I'm
when you
like,
look at that Unreal, when you look at that game we just saw that somebody did, and that's the great thing about Unreal Engine 5. You look in the background, The city is from the Matrix video, the Matrix demo that they did to showcase what it could do on the systems.
Oh,
So
nice.
all they did was drop in Superman, mock him up, and that's an early mock up. There's I mean, that's like super early. Like that's somebody who just did that in like maybe an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, or less. Just think about if you had a couple months to really, really put that in there, and then really make Superman, part of that
Mhm.
environment more. It would be that much more better. So think about somebody did that in like an hour or two, put soup in there and mocked it up and put all the flying effects. Bro, think what happens if you had a whole team and you had months to develop and put a story in, like you said. So it's incredible. That's why I said I won't pay for a port anymore.
Mhm.
Um, on the next generation system, I'm not paying for a port. Just go ahead, give me push all those games back. So I got from Nights got pushed back to October. So the Star Wars game ain't coming out till next year. That's why everything got pushed back to either this winter, this fall, or just straight next year. The Monkey King got pushed back because they're developing it on Unreal Engine 5.
Mm.
Yeah.
They did a Spider-Man one too. And the Spider-Man one was pretty deep, was pretty dope. Was pretty decent
Yeah.
too. So think what Insomniac could have did with that. If they literally, you know,
They need to do somebody needs to adapt either a video game animated and I'm not gonna touch the live action movie, but video game animated Spider-Man where Peter Parker and Miles Morales meet for the first time. I want to
that'd be
see
dope.
some type of
Yeah.
adaptation with that
Yeah,
like
I'd
that
like to
shit.
see that. Yeah, that'd be great.
Because the
I'd like to
sequel,
see
I
that.
think they're teaming up in the sequel, and they're gonna. I think Venom might be in it, and somebody else.
Yeah,
too.
Venom's gonna be in. Yeah, Venom's gonna be in the sequel. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you look at Gotham Knights, it looks amazing now. Looks way better.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, because I was worried. I was very worried about that game.
No,
Still,
Gotham
I
Knights
still
looks
don't
good.
know. Yeah, we still don't know, but it could be good.
Oh,
It
it's
has
gonna
a
be
good.
good. I'm gonna play.
Uh,
Listen, as long as Rocksteady or Rocksteady Montreal is doing
yeah.
it, I'm on board. You,
If
you
it's
throw
any,
anybody
yeah,
else at me, I'm scratching my head. But
Oh,
those two, they got my money. My money up. I already got mine pre-ordered.
So Metallo was already in 4 other Superman shows. He was in Superboy. He was in Lois and Clark, Adventure Superman. He was in Smallville. And he was in Supergirl.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
oh.
But won't make it
Yeah.
to any video games or movies.
Nope. For whatever reason.
Right.
Metallo would be Metallo would
And
be
I'm like, he's
so
such a
dope.
doable character though. Like
Yeah.
it would be
Yes.
so easy to put Metallo into a movie.
Like, come on. Even if you don't want to do practical, okay, just pump them with CGI. You could do that and make it look all right. Like,
If
you
you
know.
can do a Hulk if you could do a Hulk CGI, you can
Hey, look,
do
if
Metallo.
you can do General Zod and Jor-El suits and Man of Steel CGI,
Right.
you can do Metallo easily.
Right. No question. And there's hundreds of Superman villains. I mean, there's a fuck ton. From Anti-Monitor, you got Atomic Skull, Bizarro, Brainiac, Bruno Mannheim, Cyborg, Superman, Darkseid, Doomsday, Eradicator, Fiora, General Zod, Intergang, Jaxar, Lex Luthor, Livewire, Lobo, Mercy Graves, Metallo, Mongol, Morgan Edge, Mr. Metaphysic,
Brainiac.
Parasite. I said that. I said Brainiac. The
Well,
Parasite.
no. I'm sorry. Brainiac 5.
I'm going in
And
alphabetical
Brainiac.
order.
Oh, and Brainiac 5 knows Superman's true weakness. Like he says Superman can never beat him. But let's be glad Brainiac 5 is a good guy.
Okay. Yeah, because they just said Brainiac, the Prankster, the Parasite, Professor Hamilton, Silver Banshee, Superboy Prime, Titano and the Super Ape, the Toy Man, Ultra Humanite, Ultraman. And then there's lesser known like Arbor Z, Acid Master, Aether, the Adversary, Exo Evil, Almalac, Amazing Grace, Amazo, Amok, the Amor, Archer, Atlas, Adamman, Baron, Sunday, Barrage, Bald, Big Dome, Black Rock, Blazing Satanist, Blood Sport, Bloodthirst, Borden, Mosley, Captain Denny, Chandu, Chimo, Colonel Future, the Composite Superman, Conduit, Count X, Crime Professor, the Cyclotronic Man, Dabney Donovan, Dev M, Dr. Chaos, Dominus Duke Duval,
Mr. Mixoplex.
Duran. Yeah, I said him. Dynamite, Eclipso, Ephron the Sorcerer, Emperor of America, Equius, Leon Chantora, Eric Draken, the Evolution King, Faustus Coven for bro. And the list goes on and on. That's only the F's.
Manchester Black.
Manchester
Yeah.
Black, the
Manchester
malleable
Black.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in
Magpie.
Supergirl, right?
He could fight.
Yep.
He could fight Ultraman. He could fight Ultraman.
British telepath and anti-hero.
Mhm.
Dislikes what he perceives as Superman's simplistic view of the world and becomes obsessed with twisting and destroying Superman's morality. He later, which is dope. That's a good idea for a movie character because he's trying to twist, Superman's morality, which would be a great dramatic, storyline for a movie. He later learns Superman's true identity and manipulates a large group of supervillains to attack Superman and his known family and friends, associates. When even this manipulation, climaxed with tricking Superman into thinking that he has killed Lois Lane, fails to break Superman's spirit, he retreats completely and ends his life over the anguish of his failure. Manchester Black.
Great villain.
Man,
And
yeah,
if
great.
anybody's
sport.
never seen Superman versus the Elite, I implore y'all to watch that movie.
Oh, that movie's
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, Superman. Yeah, that was good.
That movie was great.
that one and All Star, really good.
Yeah, All Star
Superman
was good.
story. Yeah.
All Star was like, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's probably the most damn emotional animated movie I've ever seen.
Wow.
Like, golly, Superman, like I'm dying. He's going around, telling people and then telling Lois, and he's still, being Superman, and then he flies into the sun and dies.
Wow. Yeah.
So
when I first watched that, it was kind of confusing. Spade, I had to watch that joint like twice because I was like, it's just a bunch of compilations, but they all different stories, but they, you're like, huh? And then I was like, let me watch this again. I was like, all right, I get it now.
So I'm looking at Mr. Sinister, right? Marvel, Mr. Sinister, the mutant. But Superman number 16 in 1942 had a Mr. Sinister, purple-skinned denizen of the fourth dimension, would-be conqueror and failed poet, used advanced technology to abduct buildings with inhabitants to hold for ransom. And then, surprisingly, there's a Professor X in Superboy number 69 back in 1958, way before the X-Men. Superboy enemies, two criminals using a single identity as a mob boss, Professor X.
Oh. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's some funny shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of characters that share names across Marvel and DC, and I always love to check them out and see who came out first.
Yeah,
and
they love to bite off each other.
They do it. They go back and forth.
That's what they did. That's what you
Slade
got.
Slade Wilson to Wade Wilson.
Yeah.
Slade Wilson. Wade. Yeah.
Distant.
Star Wars: The Star Crash. What was the one we talked about earlier? It was the Star Crash.
Adam. And don't forget Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel.
Oh
yeah.
Yes.
Famous.
Yeah, dude. There's a ton. There's a ton. Yeah, it would be cool to see a Marvel DC crossover.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Never don't forget Star Crash and Star Wars.
Right, shit like that. Yeah. Never ending. Well, guys, it has been 3 hours, and we've had a great conversation.
Yeah.
It's 10 p.m. though, and I gotta call it a night. But we will be back Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for an hour, and Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be chopping it up, talking about, you know, Obi-Wan and Stranger Things and all that good stuff. So don't miss it.
But in between that time, Reno,
and I do
in
sell
between,
comics on
in
Instagram.
between Monday and Wednesday, if they wanted to get some more, where can they get their comics from?
That's what I'm trying to tell them.
Oh, okay. I mean, I was, I know you were telling them, but I probably could tell them better.
You
But
might,
you're gonna tell them good,
but
I can
you
tell them
can't,
better.
but
But
you
we'll
can't
just
do
let
this.
you tell them.
But you can't do this. Bam,
Mom.
bam. So check me out on Instagram, right there. I do sell comics on Instagram. You will see me tomorrow night, probably around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at 6th_element_comics.
Word up.
Peace. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all Wednesday, man. Thanks for coming out. God bless you. Good night. Peace.